I know.
And the Young Wei Koo thing was worse. So,
Hey, everybody. We just started. Me and Ladarius here have been
and
just
and
chatting
that's
away.
how you make cake. Now, okay.
That's how you make bread pudding. Oh, don't worry. We'll talk about the bread pudding. You know what? I hope everyone's ready to talk because we got a lot of fun stuff to discuss. The Rumble happened. We're on the road to Mania, and AEW keeps being a dumpster fire again with their crazy booking, to say the least. So, look, here's the one thing I'm going to say. If you're expecting us to give you a collision review, I'm going to tell you you will not get it because I guarantee you everybody, the only thing of collision that we saw was of the dude getting the vice pliers up his nose, and that was Dax. So, guess what? That's really all you need to know. And that will put butts in the seats. Um, and then let's see, we got John here. The Royal Rumble was decent. The Women's Rumble was the best part of the show. Okay, the Men's Rumble was decent. Oh yeah, Triple H buried Penta in 40. Okay, John, we'll talk because he didn't bury Penta. But anyway, what's up, everyone? That's from our homie, our Miss April and Ron Ron. We were wondering if Ron was the executive producer of an angle
No, no,
on
no, 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 no,
NXT
no,
last night.
no. He was.
Oh, he was.
He
Ron, they
was.
took one of your ideas, bro. They really did. And on Black History Month, as Ladarius was telling me.
You could have saved it for January, but you
Yeah,
waited a weekend. Okay, you know what? I'll save my anger for later.
yeah. Penta is not buried, John. We'll talk about it. Okay. First of all, Finn Balor threw him over. Penta was in there for over 42 minutes, and he was the longest one of the Rumble this year.
Yeah,
That's not a burial.
yeah. I
If
think yeah. Oh
anything,
yeah.
that's good advertising.
Yeah. So
So, man, we're starting off hot already. I mean,
we're
man,
doing
like
great.
buried already. And
Man, we haven't gotten to Charlotte Flair or the
yeah.
or Jew.
Oh
So
man,
that's
Jesus. Yeah. It's gonna make you want to drink after that one. Let's put it this way. If you're a lover of cake, don't tell Triple H because apparently Charlotte won the Rumble. But anyway, look, first of all, if you guys haven't had a chance, make sure you like this channel, subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow we're going to be going in Super Bowl preview. It's going to be the Beard Game review. Me and Ladarius hosting it. We're gonna get Kerry. We're gonna get Ron, and if Terry's healthy enough, we'll get him in also. But if not, he's resting. He's trying to get better. This weather change got a lot of people, so we want everyone to get better. So we're gonna be talking about everything that's super. We'll talk about the Super Bowl. Ladarius is gonna give us one hell of a preview, and then we're gonna really just go dive into the keys of the game. We'll talk about the Kirk Cousins fiasco. We'll also talk about, what that mean? And let's see. Christy
hey,
says,
Miss
"Hey,
Christie.
y'all, what's up, Christy? So good to see you." And then you need to talk to my lawyer, Ladarius.
Listen,
Oh,
no, you need to tell your lawyer to talk to Paul Levesque, Lee Fitting, and Shawn Michaels because
they, they,
they
yeah,
took your idea.
they,
I
they,
didn't. All I merely said was I've seen this before, and
or we've heard this before.
I'm like, it's like the words came to life on screen, and I'm like, it didn't. I said, it's reminded me of you, Ron. And look, you shouldn't have put it. You shouldn't have put it in my head.
Oh yeah, man. I mean,
You,
it really was. Hold on, April Thomas, is Ladarius that bad? No, Christy, trust us. If you listen to Ron, sometimes Ron goes in, and there's sometimes we can't pull him back out so quickly. But
yeah, listen, he goes so far out. Listen, he throws the line into the water so deep. It's like we can't. He just like we try to stop him from reeling it in, and by that point, it's already on the boat. So we have to
we're
deal
gonna
with
be
it.
capsized anyway.
Yeah, it's all right. We got a canoe. We'll be fine.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the women's rumble started off really good. I mean, look, thing is, you look at it, you had a lot of people. You had Liv, you had EO starting, and I thought EO was going to be the one that won it from the beginning. I, I I really did. I think I was on the EO train. I know you did think Charlotte, but we're as the matches progressed, you got to see a lot of people. You got to see a lot of NXT people involved, and that's just a credit to Triple H and to Sean and to everybody. You know, Last Legend made a definite impact. I thought, Jason, I almost said JC Jane, but Jada Parker, she made a definite impact. And I mean, look, I mean, what did you think? What was your thoughts about the women's rumble?
Look, it kind of went how I expected in my mind. I think people are upset because of Charlotte Flair. And
Oh yeah,
listen, like I said on this show before the Rumble, I said that listen, I'm not the biggest Charlotte. I understand the resume. She's a first ballot Hall of but to me personally, like I'm listen. If I had to rank the four horsemen, she would be fourth. I'm not saying like in terms of achievement, she's top two. So you could argue number one out of the group, but overall, to me it was much more exciting.
hmm
I think we saw. Listen, we saw NXT, we saw the future, we saw Jada Parker, we saw Roxanne, who's been a previous Rumble. We saw we saw Lash. So I think that was one big takeaway. And for Roxanne to be, next to last says a lot about how the company feels about her future. Because, to have her be the person to be one-on-one against Charlotte, the final two, it just confirms that Roxanne's going to be a champion at some point on the main roster. It's not
Oh
a matter of if, but when, and you can see that example in how you can see the example with how they've done Tiffany Stratton. I think all in all, listen, the surprises were great. We got to see Trish,
yeah, oh yeah,
and Trish's outfit was very reminiscent of her back in the Attitude Era when she was the manager.
oh
That
yeah.
year, when she was the manager of TN, with Albert and what's the other guy?
Test and Albert, yeah.
Tess and Albert. Yeah, I was gonna say T. My mind said say TNA, but I didn't want people to go that route. But I was
I
like,
think
don't
that's
say it.
what their name was at
I
first.
know, but other people like to
Oh,
misconstrue.
I know, but I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
because my
But
mind,
yeah,
I said I knew it was like TNA, and I couldn't remember what the T stood for. That was that was the issue. I knew the A was for Albert. What's up, Demetrius?
Demetrius.
So overall, listen, I'm not surprised with Charlotte because here's the thing: Charlotte you can make a case Charlotte can face either person. I think they're gonna go the Stratton route, but we kind of saw on Raw that they're teasing, maybe a Charlotte, maybe a Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley Part 3, because they split. They're both their WrestleMania matches. So to have a third one would be very interesting. But to me, I found this to be very exciting, and I think it just further confirms that the women's division in WWE is going to be absolutely fine. And I know some people were maybe disappointed, in not seeing Becky Lynch. And I love Becky Lynch, but you don't need Becky Lynch right now in this moment. Let Becky Lynch continue to, she's working on things outside of the company. She has a show. She,
hmm
it's going to come out I think next year, but probably taping. Now. She has a career, and so it just goes to show you that I'm, as much as I not maybe the biggest Charlotte Flair fan in the world, I understand why and I wrote, I'm like, it makes too much sense not to do it because you could have went. I would have said Bianca Belair, but we still don't have a conclusion on the Jade Cargill storyline because she's probably the only other person you could make a case that could, you could make a case for Rhea or for Tiffany. So overall, I liked it. I think it was very enjoyable. Like people didn't like the winner, but the match is like if you saw what position Charlotte came at, then the, they weren't trying to make it obvious. It was just
Oh,
the question was going to be who's going to be the final four, and then who was going to be against Charlotte, and who's
okay.
going to be against Charlotte Flair. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Here we go. Let's just talk about it because there was so much that happened. First of all, if you depend on the the dirt sheets, boy, did you look stupid because at 21, Alexa Bliss made her return, and that place probably had the best pop of the women's rumble for her. And then let's talk about number 30, Nikki Bella. She got a good pop. All right. I'll say it. She got a good pop. And then they replayed it. I almost wish they would have watched the replay first before showing it to us because they showed it and it's literally there's a dude as she's doing her dancing thing. I swear to God, he was playing Candy Crush. He could care no less. Um, and look, here's my only issue. I did not like. All right, because I know a lot of people were mad, but my feeling was this: the end where you had Nia eliminate 9 people, and it just looked like a cluster. That for me was like it just looked awful. I mean,
yeah,
and I hate to say it.
first of all, I love you, Naya. So
Yeah,
everything that's going to be
no,
said by the person to the other side of me is maybe not a direct reflection of how I feel.
yes, we know, Darius. We know.
Well,
That's
I
why
just like to put I like to put disclaimers out there for legal reasons.
yes, I know this. So that's why I'm talking about it. Also big debut for Jordan Grace. That was one of the other ones that I was looking forward to seeing. Jada Parker got in the mix. And I just think um but anyway. But no, I just think for Charlotte coming out and the way she was, I mean, look, we knew she was going to win. We got it. We get the picture. But the thing is, still didn't look right.
Craig, how
What's
are
up,
you?
Greg?
Yeah, he's sticking around because we're going to talk about Jey Uso in a little bit because
Oh yeah, we're
he
definitely
came to
talking.
me with a question, and like I just want to say this, I may take up your time, I apologize,
No, no, you good.
but I just want to say Craig is a guy who he was opening to understanding why with Jey Uso, and we're going to get to it. But Craig, I
Oh
appreciate you being here, buddy. I love you. You're the best. Back to you.
yeah. I mean, and by the way, there was a lot. First of all, if people were mad. First of all, let's go. We're gonna bring this up in this one also. So people were mad about Charlotte winning, and you know what? I cannot say they don't have a right to be. I actually feel they should be mad. Me personally, I thought they should have went with EO. I think that you could have done so many things, but to go ahead and do it with Charlotte, it's like you're trying to make a moment, but let's put it this way. Did Cleveland tell you that moment worked? Because boy,
That was rough.
oh,
Like
I mean,
a part of me like low key felt bad for Charlotte, and that's saying a lot. 'Cause it was like even I went, man, like
oh yeah.
these, and then it happened on like the same day that Miles Garrett said he wanted. I'm like, it wasn't a
Well, and not
great
just
day.
that, yeah, and not just that, but remember, people found out about her divorce from Andrade,
Yeah, but,
who's basically been a workhorse guy. So you kind of have people sympathize
yeah,
for,
well, yeah,
yeah.
I understand. Listen, I understand that, but
Hello.
it's like, hey, Christy, uh, I don't know. I'll share my thoughts, but I'm curious to get yours. I'm curious to get yours.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna say it like this. I mean, we'll talk more about the Raw part of it, but I think with the Rumble, you could have made pitches and kind of worked it where others would have won, and it wouldn't have been a problem. Now, this was also with us. Like I thought my girl was going to be Jordan Grace. I thought she was going to be able to go to the main roster. She's going to go to NXT for a little bit, and then she'll probably
Hmm.
go to the main roster. My feeling on that is I think she's ready now. And
Yeah.
you kind of see it's almost like, there's levels. I'm taking a line from Hill Usi on X. There's levels to this, but I mean, I'm not so upset with her. Hold on, let me go to Craig here. The instant reaction for both winners was not what the company wanted. That is for sure. Jay's reaction was way better, clearly. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then let's see. I'm one of the people that automatically knew Charlotte was going to win. I felt like any other woman could have won. Yeah. You know what? Here's the other issue. Rhea or Tiffany was not in this Rumble.
Hmm.
If they were in this Rumble, you had someone you knew you had to have to throw over. It's like this
Yeah.
person can win it. Um, so I think that's also a missed thing. I actually thought that Liv should have still been the champ for a little bit and have Rhea win the Rumble. And then, you really have to make a big time decision. But anyway, that's just my thought on that. But I think the booing or the being upset with Charlotte, I can't get upset with because I feel like they kind of set you up to get you that way. And I hate to say it like that. Tag team title match. I know I was all expecting like match of the night, steal the show, and this match did not deliver. I hate to say that, and I hated the ending. I really did. I think if you didn't do the ending, because what you did was, so they attacked the faces, the
Hmm.
Street Profits, and by the way, it was one fall piece, creative way of tricking the Guns to lose the first fall because they faked a hot tag, and Shelley thought he had Gargano when Ciampa was the legal man. It was really done well. But the second fall, okay, they came back. So you're thinking, okay, this is going to get really good. And then that interference angle, you saw Ford in the hoodie. And Joe Testator would have pointed out, but, you had the bro Chachos over there calling the matchups. So, my thing is, you got to go from there and go, okay. Then Dawkins hits the crutch on Chris Sabin, and then hits another crutch on Champa, and I'm going, okay, so I know we got to wait till SmackDown to figure out what the heck's happening. But what did you think of the match?
Listen, I enjoyed it. Maybe not match of the night per se, but I think it was enjoyable. But I actually liked the ending because for two reasons. Because A, you check the box, make the Street Profits full on heel, and like you said, how the first fall went was classic. It was great. It was absolutely amazing, and and to me, what made the ending so great is that, like I said, basically the Street Profits are heel, and now they went after both. They went after both the Motor City Machine Guns and then DIY. They're just full on absolute heel. It doesn't change the status of either team in terms of the heel face status. But the Street Profits, that had to be done, in my opinion, because we needed to see them go that way. And I always feel that when when you don't know what to do with teams, just switch them, whether
Yeah,
face or heel. You switch them in the opposite direction. And I think with the Street Profits, they could have gone a multitude of routes, but make them heel because now we're having intrigue. Because listen, we need more contenders in the tag team division.
legit
And
contender. Yeah,
so I think it may not have been done the way that there are other ways you could have went about doing it, but I think the way they went about making the Street Profits heel, you establish another tag team you establish another tag team on the brand, and now you don't know how. there's going to be retaliation on Friday for sure. But the question is now you have two teams pissed at the Street Profits, and I love it
Yeah.
because they were doing heelish things, but we never got the full turn. We got the full turn on the Rumble, and that was
Well,
the perfect moment
now,
to do it. And what I thoroughly enjoyed is that it didn't change my mind about who's going to win. A part of me always felt that DIY was going to retain somehow, and which is fine.
mhm.
But listen, it was a great tag team match. Like I said, maybe not match of the night stuff, but it was still a great match between four good workers between Shelly, Chris Sabin, and Johnny Gargano. Excuse me, and Tommaso Ciampa. So it all worked out, and a lot of boxes were kind of checked in that regard. So I'm just kind of curious to see where do they go moving forward in that regard. Like I say, it's gonna make SmackDown that much more intriguing to me.
Exactly. And here's my main thought is this: if Dawkins is healthy, because he had the crutches, I don't know if it was just a prop or what, but
Yeah,
if he's healthy, I'm definitely intrigued because I want to know what's going to happen next. But if he's hurt still, I'm kind of concerned. But
yeah,
also, it's just making your brains turn. That's all,
yeah, and that's
and
what I liked
that's
about it
okay.
because that's what I like about it. It makes you, like I said, I thought, well, maybe the crutch is maybe a prop, but then, or maybe he's not 100%, or maybe he's close. We don't know percentage wise where he is health wise, but it just creates more intrigue in the tag team division, and so that's what piqued my curiosity. So I'm like, I'm like I said, this match was well done, and then getting the Street Profits involved is pretty good as well.
Yeah, I mean, I understand if someone wasn't happy with it, but I understand if someone was okay. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like I said, like I said, if it's not the cup of tea, then it's not one of the things that we're gonna jump down your throats over because it's because listen, at the end of the day, like I'll just go with my saying I always put on Twitter. It's like if you think it's that serious, it's probably not that serious. This is one of those moments where like I don't need a soliloquy or I don't need if you liked it, you great. If you didn't, cool. Because it's not that I'm not going to stop being your friend if you don't like it. So
I do like the fact that we had a tag team match featured on a PLE, and I mean, that's the other thing. Remember, that's a lot of people there at that stadium,
yeah,
and that was a football field, and
yeah,
you know that means a lot. So for 70,000, and they were
yeah,
jam packed.
yeah.
So I mean, and
It's
that
and
as someone whoever does look, Hunter, I know you love long ramps,
like
bro.
yeah. Listen, I was tired watching people go down that. I'm like because remember I think at SummerSlam a couple years ago. I think that's when Damage Control debuted. The ramps were long, and I'm like, and it's like when EO came out and then Dakota Kai came out. I'm like, man, they're taking their time, and it's like,
And they only shot it from a certain area,
right,
and you're
yeah,
just going,
it's like it wasn't shot like it wasn't like it's like because it was shot a very specific way, and I'm like, I wonder what I did, and then when they finally did like the wider shot, it's like, oh, that's why. Look at that ramp, like, look, I mean, I'm like, listen, and also, listen, I look at Craig. Craig said, Triple loves interests that you time with the sundial. Yeah, he does.
yes,
He
yes, he
does.
does.
Because the thing is, listen, and like I said, he did it. Look at because I think SummerSlam. I think that was his first time. His first full PLE in charge. I think was that SummerSlam, and we saw the long ramp then. So like I say, maybe we should have known then. I'm like, this is not going to be an ongoing thing on PLEs, and then boy, we were wrong because it's oh man. Let's see. Oh, Hawks Digest, fellas, what's up, Hawks Digest? And the amazing Carrie here. Hi, CW and
Miss
Ladarius. Hope you have a great
Terry,
show. Hi,
must go.
Carrie.
See you tomorrow. Mm.
So listen.
Yeah, it's rare when I'm like going, I opened the door. Come to the therapy.
What's up,
My
Chris?
bad. What's up, y'all? A1 Sports
Well,
forever. Forever,
forever,
ever,
ever, forever,
ever.
ever.
Mm.
I assume that I don't know which one's Andre and which one's Big. I'll let you guys decide.
You know what?
I'll let you.
I will tell you this. I think uh hold on. Man, we gotta be careful, man. We know what happens when we get a lot of people, man. Dave Meltzer gets mad about that. I was in the
Yeah.
wrong account.
Hope doesn't see Quavo like. What was that guy's name? Quavo? Like, bro,
It
it's
was
not like
Quavo.
he's
Quavo.
like, are you talking about like Jose Quavo? Or are you talking about the multi-talented rapper Quavo? Because it's like, listen, all I'm gonna say about that guy is this. I'll put it this way: if someone who looked like C Double was in the crowd, he wouldn't care.
Well,
Someone,
here's another thing. Hold on. Here's another thing to think about. Dave, what about the celebrities that are showing up to AEW? Oh yeah, that's right. There are no celebrities showing up to
right? Who the one celebrity, the one guy who won the what was it Golden Globe? I'm like, you know what? We're not gonna the Costco. I'm like, are those? I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not gonna get into that. And Devin, yeet to you as well.
you too, sir. I
But
mean, but yeah. So the tag team match may not have lived up, but the WWE title match definitely did. And let me tell you something. I don't know about you, Ladarius, but I've seen a lot of ladder matches.
same here.
This is very old school. That it's like they used the ladder, but the ladder wasn't the star.
There you go.
It was a piece of the puzzle. And what they were able to do, the match itself was great. I mean,
Yeah.
some of those bumps were hellacious. I would never want to do any of them. I would have cried. I think I would have peed myself at one point. That bump that Kevin Owens took with the lower back. Oh God, no! Jesus,
Yeah,
that's
that's the perfect example right there. It took you back to a different era.
yeah,
And yeah, that's a good point, Devin.
yeah. So go ahead and tell what you thought about it as I snack on my dinner.
And you'll have my response right after these commercials. If Ron Necklace can do it, so can we.
Damn
All right,
right.
I'm
Hold
Tony
on.
Atlas.
2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, we'll be back, guys. We'll be back. That son of a.
Hold on, if we're really gonna be like Netflix, we need to glitch too at one point.
Yeah, we need to go like. So about the match. No, son of a. No, listen. When you have a match like that, listen. We love storytelling, and that match told one hell of a story. And listen, Craig says, I'm one of those weirdos who love Bob Holly. Yeah, seeing an Alabama Slam throwback Dakota team. Yeah, he was
Oh,
like,
that was beautiful.
so somewhere Bob Holly went. Yeah, he
Bob
nodded.
Holly went, "Don't you get up from that move? That's finisher."
Stay down. Take the 3 count. It's a ladder match. Shut up. But it told a story, and that was a hellacious match. You actually had some people low key feeling bad for Kevin Owens. That's how great the match was. And that's when you tell a proper story. And to your point, when the ladder just becomes a part of the match, it's supposed to be the core of the match, obviously.
Yeah.
But it just becomes, in the way that it was used, in such a violent, but yet I want to say poetic way, because the way that you saw that Alabama Slam on the ladder, Jesus Christ, there are certain moves with you doing that ladder, like the only thing missing was that somebody speared somebody from the top of the ladder. That's what I would have loved, but that's just me. But anyway,
We saw a lot of spears, by the way. We'll talk about one.
Yeah, we'll be right back. Now, but no, to me, like I say, Cody winning doesn't surprise me. And to me, I think, and like I said, it kind of plays into what I kind of feel is going to happen or should happen. I would not be shocked one bit if we get Cody heel at some point this year. Because when I saw, the way Cody was after that match, he was like kind of sitting in, I was like, he didn't, I understand you were going to go and check out on Kevin. That part I got.
Are
But
you talking about the scene where you saw him go back to, or someone said, "Come over here with the belts," and he just walked over to that? It's like, "Grrr," and I'm like,
Jesus, get
I,
over here. Like,
I agree with you, but yeah, go ahead, keep going.
that's how you know it's live television. That's how you know it's live.
Yeah, exactly. But
He's
that was
like,
so cool.
get over here. But but to me, that moment, that match led us to another match we're going to talk about later when we talk about Raw and how Raw concluded. Here's the thing. Kudos to Kevin Owens because listen, heel Kevin. When we get this Kevin Owens, you get that remnant of like that Kevin Steen. You
Mm-hmm.
get those vibes, and when you get them, like this is the Kevin Owens that absolutely works for me because at the end of the day, it's about just the storytelling, and at the end of the day, so I thoroughly enjoyed it, and like I say, I expect a heel Cody sooner rather than later.
I think the heel Cody will come along, but they're gonna take some time with it.
Yeah, like I said, it's going to happen sooner than people think.
It might happen if they're gonna do it. You may want to do it maybe with Cena,
Correct.
and you can go from there. But
Yeah.
I'm with you. or I can open my eyes to a possibility. But now here's where I'm going to go. There are times we want our baby face to get as low down dirty as the heel, and that's what Cody did. And Cody basically went full Homelander, and I loved it that he just climbed over or stepped over Kevin as he's upside down in the ladder, and he walks up that ladder, and the whole time we're watching it, we're going, "Is Sammy gonna do something? Oh, he might do something. I don't know. He ain't moving over there." And they're like, "Oh, I see someone. Oh, that's the ref holding the ladder. Well, that's good because it's getting kind of shaky there." And he just gets each belt, and I'm just going, "Wow." So yeah, I think my thing is what I loved about it was the storytelling. It made you go. You're looking at Kevin Owens, and you're going, "Oh man, I feel for him." And then and someone can be next to you going, "What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, what the hell are you talking about? You know, he's been an ass. He's been wanting this." So that's what wrestling is. It's like you have those conflicting feelings. Sami Zayn showing up was very surprising, but yet vital, as we know later on. But I just thought Cody, man, that was Iron Man, or that was just a Cody and Kevin. Or it's like this. Stop telling me about how Cody can't have good matches. Cody can have great matches. And when he gets a story that he can put his teeth through, he's good. Now, we'll see what happens. We'll go from there. But I'm intrigued by what's going to be happening here next. And we had a Rumble, a controversial Rumble. Now, let me explain something. I have seen Royal Rumbles that have had guys like Vince McMahon, Triple H. Um, we've had Batista win it when it was supposed to be Bryan. We've had multiple Rumbles where guys that were hot, that never got a moment, lose. So the moment Jey Uso said I can beat him if I can get one more chance, and I got to get in that Rumble. You've already felt it. I know for me, or reports said it was already done in like December. They kind of figured they were going to do this. So I think for Jey Uso, it was a moment, dude. We'll talk about the whole match, but what was your thought? And if you want to bring up the critiques, well, let's do it. But what do you think? Or the criticisms?
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why people feel the way that they feel. And this is something that's also important to understand. We can understand, and I said this before, we can understand something but not agree with it. But in this case, I think people should have that feelings that you don't have to you know just you understand, and some people feel, hey, I understand what happened, and they still don't like it. The thing with Jey Uso is that there's this, and people who, and let me be clear, because listen, I listen, I watch social media, maybe it doesn't get to me, but it's just like people don't. I don't get upset about not seeing it. I understand how people feel, because like Craig comments here, which is like I said, me and Craig talk. He's like about like, see, he doesn't have a problem with it. He's just more indifferent. I get he's way over, but it's not for me what I get. See, that's the reaction that I have no problem with, because it goes back to what I said. We can understand something and not agree with it, and that's Craig. It's just, and the thing is, we've seen people who are absolutely been red hot, and absolutely the ball has been dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can make a list. We can use our hands and count the number of people who they just simply didn't want to put over at a Rumble when they're the hottest thing going. And listen, and consistency, listen, it is a problem. It has been a problem. And I feel that, I think what Triple H did, and my biggest thing, where's that comment? Where's that?
I'm
I'm
trying
trying
to.
to figure what Devin was trying to say, but he's like, where's that comment?
Cena. Oh yeah, yeah. All in
Yeah,
one match. Who wins? Uso. This Rumble will be legendary.
yeah.
I mean, it was. I mean, go ahead, Ladarius. I'm going to speak my part too on
No,
this.
go ahead. No, go ahead. No, go ahead. I'll end my point. Go ahead.
All right. Well, look. I don't have a problem with Jey Uso winning. You just said it. How many guys that we saw that were hot coming in, the fans were behind? I mean, hello. Did we all not see when Daniel Bryant? Oh God, did you see that too? Maybe I'm still bitter about Damian Sandal's treatment.
Yeah,
Craig,
yeah.
you gotta let that go, man.
Listen, hey Craig.
Yeah.
Listen, as one of my other monikers, King Petty would say, keep holding on to it. Let it continue to consume you.
That is so freaking epic. I love it. Um, when I think of Jey Uso, I think of someone that's worked, busted his tail, get this crowd over. I'm not big with um, Pat McAfee, always dancing and everything, but you know what? It's still Jay that I look at, and I'm enjoying what Jay's doing. Jay deserves this moment. It's fine to give him this. You're going to be able to create WrestleMania the way you want it still. There's nothing wrong. And by the way, if you're thinking this is going to be another stinker match, you're not giving Gunther or whoever a chance to build something good with Jay. Okay? Give it some time. There's no need to be upset because honestly, I'm going to just say it. He's one of those guys that's earned it. He's been there for how long? And he gets pushed through the forefront. And look, he genuinely got over. There are guys that try to get over and can't get over. And you know what? Bloodline, whatever you want to say. He did it, and it's been on him, and he's done it separate from the bloodline. So I can't. I love it. I think he deserves it. Um, we'll talk about some of the key eliminations, but honestly, remember this: John Cena was advertised for the Elimination Chamber coming into the show. So when you do that, you're basically saying John's not winning the Rumble. So relax. And not only that, this is a year, if John's gonna, if anything, he's gonna make sure someone's getting over. He made sure Jey Uso got over. Nothing wrong with that. Because see him lose the WrestleMania match, are we going to go? You know what? I can actually see Jay winning the title. I see that visual in my head where everyone's yeeting in Las Vegas. You start the show off with that match with that entrance. I mean, kind of like what Seth Rollins did with the weird people from Philly that dressed up in the weird stuff. But anyway, but no, I know he lost that match, but still. But when John put him over, I was like, "Thank you, Mr. Cena." But that's John Cena though. That's his career. I mean, I'm not trying to, try to make him into a saint. I mean, yeah, he's made some mistakes or whatever, but I can see it. I don't think it's a given. Well, exactly, but we'll see. But that's what WrestleMania is. I say, let's see the card develop. We'll go from there. We don't even know what the heck is going to happen with the chamber match, except for two guys already. And one kind of declared himself, which, gotta admit, now, folks, people, for criticizing John Cena declaring himself for the chamber, let's remember something. The man is doing movies. So I guess, like Ladarius said to me the other day, when would he do a qualifying match? And then if you're trying to tell us of him needing to win a match, well, then wouldn't that kind of mess that up if he won a qualifying match? So relax. He threw out Logan Paul. That's one of the key things also. Watch out for. I thought it would be the other way around, but Logan Paul made some history. He eliminated CM Punk. We're not going to tell Berto that because apparently Berto's still a little sensitive about that. But, Berto, if you ever like to join the show, you can. See, I'm trying to say his name and he will appear, but that was only Joe Henry. But what did you think of the Rumble itself? What did you think of just kind of what we saw? What were things that you really enjoyed watching from the Rumble? And if you would like to finish your comment, please finish it because I would like to hear what you thought too.
No, I don't want to finish the comment. No, I'll get to it. But
okay.
Overall, I think we're going to get a couple of WrestleMania matches out of this at this Rumble, which is absolutely yeah. And Craig is right. People are still angry. Overload. And listen, and that's what makes this very interesting to me. Because, like I said, we got a couple of WrestleMania matches potentially out of that Rumble. So, but I want to go back and finish my Jey Uso point.
Please do.
And someone said this online, and people just they look at Jey Uso that he's just a word and he's just a slogan and all of this jazz. Here's the thing. When you look at the career of Jey Uso, and these are people who don't, some folk, and listen, if you disagree with Jay winning, I don't have a problem. Because here's the thing, like I said, when me and Craig talk, Craig, like I said, the same thing he said on here is the same thing he told, listen, he understood why he was over, but he was kind of indifferent, and those people are willing to listen, and those are the people that have, you can have a conversation with.
Mm-hmm.
It is some people who simply just don't look at Jey Uso. They still look at him as a guy who's a mid-card guy. They don't look at him, oh, he's not great in the ring, and he's not. Here's the thing. if you look at the path of Jey Uso, yes, is he is over, like over times over. He's over. And to me, he's more over now than LA Knight was.
Mm-hmm.
He's that much over. Here's the thing. Jey Uso, listen, Jey Uso's put in the work. Jey Uso, if you go back to the Bloodline storyline, and when he go back to the moments where he's talking to his brother when he told Jimmy he's out, and then he turns around and then he says, "I'm out too," and then he super kicks Roman Reigns, and then all of a sudden, then Solo gets two super kicks for the trouble. So it's a situation where, like, Jey Uso was trying to break out and be his own person. And that's very hard to do in tag teams. That's very hard to do. When you've been in a tag team for as long as the Usos were, I could argue that, listen, in this generation,
Brother tandem at that, mind you.
yeah, and that's, so at the end of the day, like, listen, like Craig said, Cena wasn't a great technical guy. It's the storytelling. It's the storytelling. And I think people are too focused on the wrestling to not understand there's the story. And like John Cena early on was not great in the ring. He was not great in the ring. But he was over, like he was over, and he was the face of the company for 2 decades. Basically, think of it this way. The best way I can equate it is that he was the guy. He was basically like how some fans see Derek Jeter with the Yankees. That's how people see John Cena in WWE. You can't think of one without the other because and I think where people miss kind of miss the perspective is you don't like being a great wrestler does not always equate to being over because we can name at least 5 guys who are great in the ring, but maybe not the best in storytelling or best on the mic. Go look at Roman Reigns. Go look at Roman Reigns when he was trying to be pushed down our throats as this face, and we were like, no, thank you. We were like, we were like, no, thank you. And like Chris said, he sucks, but he got better. And that's the point with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was terrible on the mic. In fact, it was John Cena who schooled Roman Reigns on like, hey, this is how you do a promo. And it's like, and from that moment on, like, oh, you're like, well, Roman Reigns, there's something there. He gets better on the mic. And then Roman Reigns, you fast forward all these years later, he becomes he's involved in the biggest storyline in the company history in some time. And is the world champion for 3 years. That's how over Roman Reigns is. I'm not saying Jey Uso is going to keep the belt for 3 years. But the point I'm conjecturing is, young Cena, listen, here's, I don't know how I remember this because maybe it was the Magic jersey that made me remember, but the moment when he and Stephanie McMahon were in the ring,
that's
I'm
one of my
like,
favorite moments.
Man,
let me smack that.
If you always wonder why Triple H and Cena matches were great, it was because Triple H never forgot that. But anyway, he never forgot that. He's like, I still remember what he did. But to conclude, I don't want to take too much time. But the point is this: before we start saying, oh, Jey Uso's this, Jey Uso's that, understand how the people we admire today, as we think we're all-time greats, they weren't great either in the ring or they weren't great on the mic. They didn't have it all together. They were really good at one thing and maybe mid at the other. But in time, they got better. And you look at John Cena's career, he went from word life now to the end is near. The end he went through, and let's see, Dimitri said, as big as a Roman Reigns fan, when he was the big dog, he could never get over, but when WWE pulled the trigger and turned him into, yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly the point. That's the point. That's the point. Jesus
Viscera.
Christ.
Come on. Why we got to bring Viscera in this? That man almost murdered Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah.
Oh, that was one of the
You know,
worst.
listen, the thing I remember about Viscera is when him and Lillian Garcia. That's what I remember.
I remember that too.
Yeah, like that whole
And
gimmick of like,
you cannot take it out.
yeah. So if I replanted that memory for you, you're welcome. But to
Thanks.
conclude the point, but to finish my point is this: give it time. You know, let's give it time and understand. We've seen it with Cena. We've seen it with Roman. Like look at Triple H. Like when Triple H, when DX started, like we wouldn't have probably got DX if it wasn't for the Monday Night Wars. If WCW wasn't beating, if W wasn't beating WWE in the ratings, we probably wouldn't have got DX to counter NWO. And that just made Triple H a star. He had the goods, but that DX put him over, and then he was able to become the Gang, the cerebral assassin. So the point is, it's about look at the journey of the people of your favorite wrestlers, and not saying you still have to agree with Jay winning. I want you to understand that there's always a story. There's always a beginning. And the two best examples is John Cena and Roman Reigns, and both of them were the face of the company. And listen, Jay winning at WrestleMania, that's going to be a moment that you're not going to forget it. Because all of those on the journey, just like, all the Cena Nation, they've been rocking with Cena when he was doing Word Life. He was doing, and then just rocking with him to this day. There are day one Cena fans who went through every transition like you see them, and they're still with him today. What does that tell you? That tells you that you believed in John Cena when other people didn't believe in John Cena. And here we are, 2.5 decades later, and still Roman Reigns, day one Roman fans. They were like, I'm going to stick with this guy. And then, like Demetrius said, when you give him that head of the table gimmick, he understood it. He learned how to be better on the mic. You can't really touch Roman on the mic. He's gotten that good. He's gotten better than what he was. And the thing is, you have to get better. A lot of reasons why this goes for life as well. Don't settle for complacency.
Yeah.
Because if you settle for being complacent, you're going to be where you are. Cena evolved. Cena can still drop it down. He can still drop bars to this day. I heard him do it in interviews. He can still do it to this very day. He's on the red carpet or anywhere else. Roman Reigns can still. It's just be willing to evolve and change. And I feel that from Jey Uso, he had to stop being, had to go from being a tag team partner, and like you mentioned, a brother tag team at that.
Yeah.
To separate from your brother and be willing.
One of the key things Roman says, which one are you? I mean,
yeah.
To now, everyone knows who you are.
Yeah. And folks, and that goes to show you, Jey Uso didn't settle. Listen, at the all-time greats, they probably did a gimmick that you didn't like, but you rock with them because you believed in them as the person, and you knew. That's me with the Undertaker. I've been the same way that CW feels about Triple H. Excuse me, about John Cena. Excuse me. It's the same I feel about the Undertaker.
Yeah, I mean, because
and then Dimitri
says from the beginning, and their process through. There was a point you looked at Triple H going, he's going to be the heel.
Yeah, and then like
Triple H,
yeah, and then like Demetrius, like, listen, it's people don't have to understand the build. to where you are. You can't be complacent. Like listen. A lot of people didn't think Rey Mysterio should be a world champion because of his size, and all of a sudden he becomes world champion because he knew how great he was, and people in that company knew how great he was. So he became world champion. He changed the way we looked at world champions. The same way with Jeff Hardy and Daniel Bryan. And this is the thing. If you're a Daniel Bryan fan, I'm not going to say it parallels what Jey Uso's doing, but it's more than a gimmick. It's more than a slogan. It's more than a saying. When you get people to believe in it, it's something special.
This is
so. I'm sorry. I've spoken too long. I'm sorry.
No. But I wanted to piggyback on that because you said something, and this comment also. He is the underdog, okay? But what's great, remember these great moments, the Daniel Bryan Yes movement. Remember the Kofi Mania. That happened during the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
That, we were pissed off about fans were pissed off about Daniel Bryan during the build, after Rumble and during, so remember, Jey Uso winning the Rumble is basically Triple H going, this guy's so hot, we're just going to go ahead and put him through.
It's the first time where Triple H listened to the fans. He saw, when someone like Triple H, WWE Hall of Famer Triple H, long overdue, by the way, long overdue. But I understand. I understand the character, the man he is. I understood why it took this long, because he was never going to do it himself. Because it's not about him, and that speaks to. He saw that crowd. He sees the crowds on Raw. He sees this crowd. He's on social media. He sees how over Jey is. And another point it's key. Jey worked his tail off to get to that moment. It's not like you're giving some guy some random moment.
Look,
because at the end of the day,
we're getting the running. I mean, if I had music, I'd probably play some in living color. Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say like Alberto Del Rio or something like that. Come on.
Oh no. What you trying to do? Make my viewers run away? What the hell's wrong with you? We don't bring
Lord.
Where's that graphic where we kick that one out? No, we don't. No, Del Rio.
No, I don't want to ruin anything. What's up, fellas? How you guys doing,
What's up, brother?
All is good.
I gotta go, guys.
The man that inspired all this, and yet this is like a very rare moment. We could get the great, Mr. Falcons in the house. Mr. Alberto.
No, man, you're too kind. You guys are well deserved to be in this space, man. I'm glad you guys were able to connect and just make this fantastic show for the public to listen to, man. So I see it, man.
It's more about CW. I'm just here.
Oh, no. CW needs to break the shackles and allow you to just lead and sing.
Really?
That's
gotta break the shackles.
That's what needs to happen.
This the host of this thing with me.
His name. Notice he gets top billing. I'm just gonna put that out.
What are you talking about?
Oh, Lord.
First on the tweet.
Demetrius, what's up, buddy? Oh man, so yeah, what's the scoop, man? Rumble reaction?
Yeah, we're definitely doing our reactions. We're basically, because people lost their dang minds when Jey Uso won the Rumble.
Yeah.
But honestly, this is a story where, think about it. Last year, Cody had to win the Rumble, and think about it. If Punk won it, but he still got hurt, they would have been, SOL'd.
Yeah.
So so you get Cody to win, and you're telling the whole story that ended up happening, which was the final boss. But it looks like Triple H is like, you know what? We're going to reward somebody. And they chose Jey.
Yeah. Rightfully so.
We'll talk about it, but first of all, I need to know. Are you okay? Because, I know that, this weird, creepy little man, Logan Paul, eliminated CM Punk after Punk eliminated Seth freaking Rollins.
I can't stand
C double. Wait, I know I'm just the co guy here. I know I'm just the.
You you also host it
I
now.
know I'm just like the vice president here. I really
No,
don't,
you're not the vice
all I do is go around and shake hands and break ties in the in the Senate. So
Are you claiming to be the John Laurinaitis of the group?
listen,
No, you're not.
I hope not.
listen. I'll have my legal team reach out to you.
Oh
and
God. Oh man. Oh man.
But go
I
ahead.
hate Logan Paul. I can't stand Logan Paul. I mean, I understand why he's I understand it. WWE has this fantastic, just sense of, future content, wrestling. They know that, the marriage is there with social media and him being the social media tycoon that he is. Obviously, it just makes all the sense in the world, man. Give him the platform that WWE is and see where they can both take each other to newer heights. I can't discredit. I don't like him, but I don't discredit his wrestling ability because he has put on some bangers, with Roman and etc. and stuff like
And
that.
Cody,
So
yeah.
he's made the crossover look seamless. But I still don't like the guy. I hate the fact that he eliminated Punk. I'm just like, I wonder what Punk is thinking right now. I'm getting ready to get eliminated by a YouTube act. At the one of the arguably the second biggest stage of them all, which is the Royal Rumble, first being WrestleMania. So it's like,
wait a minute. But didn't he say? Looked at Kevin Owens and says, "I've never lost to Logan Paul."
oh God.
I mean, I'm just saying. CM Punk got to put
No,
himself in it. I mean, look, it could have been worse. He
Yeah.
could have been eliminated by I Show Speed.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, well, God bless Braun Breaker. God
Oh,
bless
man.
Braun Breaker, man.
We're still looking for the ribs that were broken.
Dude, that was brutal.
Jesus, I know you can see a
That
train
was
wreck in the
brutal.
ring. My God.
Yeah, man.
He did that flip, and my buddy's like, "Why is he running?" I was like, "Oh no, oh God."
He's gonna
Yeah.
oh my God.
When he the way he hit those ropes, I'm like, I hope I Show Speed got some good insurance because my God.
Mm-hmm.
He got creamed.
Good
Did,
time,
man.
Good time.
I mean, hey, and then AJ Styles, Uncle Allen came back with his original music.
Oh,
Don't
thank
ever
God.
play that Death Rebel crap. Stay
Yeah.
away.
Mhm.
You're not allowed.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry.
He's fit for another run. I'm interested to see what they do with him on Raw. I mean, he's one of those guys that you got to reward him. You have to in some way, shape, or form. He's paid his dues in the ring. He's been a consummate professional. He's laid down and put others over.
Oh, yeah.
And in some way, I think WWE should give him something back, should owe him some. He ran, he was the face for a company in that 2016, 2017, era, so to say, with really talent was lacking. And he was there. Vince made him champion, and obviously we all frown and be like, "Oh wow, what's a TNA guy holding a belt?" That quickly. But
Well,
hey, listen,
talk about TNA. You know about the relationship.
yeah,
Could you imagine
heck yeah, man.
if they give him a little bit of leniency and let him go to TNA. I mean, we got Fandango that showed up this past
Lord.
Tuesday, so I would be very happy if we saw AJ Styles coming to TNA. I mean, I'm just saying it would be very cool. We just don't want Tessa coming. That's all we ask.
We were watching
away.
NXT last night. My daughter, God bless her, she goes, "Dad, who's Fandango?" I'm like, "Oh, child, you're about to witness greatness."
You see
Just
Berto?
give it a minute.
You see
Berto
Berto?
gets in his spandex.
Yeah.
Whoa, no.
You see Berto like
Lord.
him and his daughter sit next to his daughter. Let me regale you in the tale of the fond.
Oh man.
7 years ago.
Oh man. But
Before
good
there
stuff,
was
man.
AEW.
Oh God. Who's that? That pissant company. Sorry.
Someone trying to do a show on the Rumble. That's who. God.
Idiots.
I mean, all right. So here's something to ask then. I mean, what did you think about the whole beatdown? And also, let's talk about that sequence. CM Punk or Roman, Seth, basically blacked out, hate each other. They are the Chicken and Peter Griffin when they see each other. They're fighting. Punk eliminates them both. So what are you thinking? I mean, and then let's talk about both y'all. Let's talk about that altercation because that was pretty damn wild how that broke down.
Yeah, so for me, once that elimination happened, I'm like, that's the co-main event right there, Seth and Roman. That story is going to be magnified by 1,000 right there because there's a lot still there that's unresolved. So them two getting eliminated via Punk, I felt like, okay, Punk got the two guys out of the way. This is Punk's Rumble to lose, and then lo and behold, we get that whole shit show of an event that transpired, and I'm not a fan of that. But needless to say, history is history. But yeah, that's
what AEW because he was trying to murder Seth Rollins.
Dude, oh man, it was crazy, man. And you know what was also grand too, man? We talked about the WrestleMania night where Cena and then Taker, man, but that Rumble moment where it was Roman, Cena, then Punk came out like God, and then Seth Rollins came out. It's like, wow, this is firepower at its best, man. It was dope.
I saw a picture of it, and someone tweeted, "Time stood still."
Yeah,
and I'm going, yeah. What do you think, Darius? I want to hear you, man. What you got?
Oh, I'll let Berto keep talking. I feel like I've said enough, quite frankly.
Come on.
No,
you asked the comment.
The floor is yours, brother.
My contract said, oh wait, that feels it.
You keep quoting that contract, but I keep wanting to tell you the contract's going to keep telling you still got to do it, bro.
Are you saying I can't read now, C-Double? Jesus. Okay. All right.
My friend Carrie's in the chat.
Look, I can't.
Yeah, I have been, I've been like the poster child for a milk carton and missing, but I'm alive and well.
I'm like, I know where that handsome man is. I got it. I'm on the case.
We've been wondering where you've been. I mean, it's funny. It's like, where has Berto been?
Yeah, bro. It's been a lot of stuff behind the scenes, man.
All right.
Absolutely, man.
But Darius, you speak, but I'm going to go ahead and hit this comment because we haven't addressed this yet. But at 15, the man, the myth, the legend, you said his name and he appeared, and oh my God, Sheamus became a believer because that man was locking eyes at Joe Henry.
That was the funniest part. What are you doing? I was enjoying that. Like it was great. It was great, man. It was great.
You're right, Craig. I will say less about the contractual terms. Yeah. You're right. Because somebody on this set.
At least we don't have to react and watch TNA or AEW today. Okay, don't worry about that.
I was never worried at all.
Yeah. Trust me, that's the cure to narcolepsy.
Even narcolepsy's like, man, we can't save this. No, but
but yeah, Joe Henry, guys, what did you think? I mean, I loved it. I was popping for it myself. I couldn't lie.
Me too. I was too. I liked it because he was away from the WWE scene for a while after he was featured heavily in the summertime, and it kind of cool, right? That folks still, folks still gave him that pop. So I was happy for him. And
we're singing his song.
It was dope, man. It was dope. Oh, whoa, wait a minute. If you want to talk about singing songs, I mean, that whole 70,000 plus was singing Cult of Personality.
Well,
that was a banger.
You know what? Look, they sing punk all the time.
You know what? Hey, C-Double. I'm going to say to you, I know your anger.
What a cue. Wow.
Do you know my dreams?
Yeah. Take that, C-Dub.
Hey, it's not my fault Logan Paul eliminated my guy. At least the Royal Rumble champion eliminated my guy.
Well, let's just put this out on the limb. At least your guy finally delivered a banger of a match, and we're talking Cody Rhodes here because he's been lackluster. A1, what's up, my brother?
This is
I
good
will
stuff.
not have no Cody slander in my
I ain't got
Cody
nothing to say.
has had a mid-title reign. Very mid.
I have told you he has not had. It's the booking, and it was.
It's folks like this that just make me feel so good about my decision.
You know what, Demetrius? Listen, we'll get you some merch. Great stuff. Good.
I wanted Jay to win the Rumble, to be honest.
Listen, Chris,
no one more deserving, man. Honestly, no more deserving.
Yeah, what do you think? I mean,
I'll put myself on mute. Go ahead.
No. You're good, Ladarius. No, so me and Ladarius actually had this conversation a couple days back, and sure, the wrestling fan at heart, like myself, I biased here. I wanted Punk to win, but looking back at these wrestlers that have caught this enormous amount of success in times before, we talk about the summer that was CM Punk, it wasn't capitalized on. Daniel Bryan's summer was not properly, capitalized on. You know something? It was time to capitalize on past mistakes, and that's what Hunter did. Was he capitalized? Oh shit! On on the heat that Jay Uso was bringing. Man, this guy is single handedly, just taking audiences by storm with the entrance, the wrestling. He deserves it. He absolutely deserves it, man. So I'm happy. I'm happy for Jay. The only concern is, like me and Ladarius was speaking, he's probably going to get a Damian Priest like title run, and that's what I have a problem with. You reward a guy, you sing his good graces. Sure, we expect him to beat Gunther at WrestleMania, but really, WrestleMania till SummerSlam is what, a 5 or 6 month window. Exactly. That's as much as he's going to get in that championship echelon there, man. So. Yeah, but other than that, man, that's a whole different topic. I love the Jey Uso thing.
It's like this. It's getting that belt. It's getting that moment. And if you're watching WrestleMania and you're seeing, all those people yeeting, it's gonna like give you chill bumps. And by the way, comment of the night might have to be this man right here. Cody's still smoking on that KO pack. That Alabama slam through that ladder was crazy.
That was dope. Oh, wait a minute. Craig, I don't know you, but sir, have we properly met? It's nice to see CM Punk stay healthy enough to have an in-ring impact for more than 2 months.
Oh God, no, he didn't.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
I don't know how Berto's going to recover.
That hurt.
He'd rather hear about Kirk Cousins talking to the media again.
Oh man, Kirk who? Get that
bum
out of
exactly. He ain't my cousin.
For real.
Kurt, he ain't my cousin.
Damn right.
Damn. Yeah. We got Ron Simmons in the house.
Damn. Ooh, shit,
look,
man.
Joe, but I got to go here. It was very impressive for Joe Henry.
Yeah.
TNA champion. All right. Yeah, we'll talk about that Monday Night Raw. Book Craig versus Berto WrestleMania. Thank you there, Commish. We're going to make that happen.
Got it.
I'll be the referee. I will take bribes.
Man.
But Joe Henry coming out, you said it perfectly. September or the summer, he kind of faded away. They did, Bound for Glory. Thought he was going to win it there. He didn't. He won it like a few months, or I think that show Sacrifice it was. I can't remember it all because everything all gets together. But he comes back as a champion. And he's got that belt. And it's like, if you're a free agent and you're seeing that, you see Jordan Grace, you're seeing the NXT people, you're seeing Ethan Page having a highlight. You see Alexis King, who I think is crap. But anyway, he's being showcased.
Sure.
And it's like these guys. And then you got Penta, who was not buried, John.
Jeez.
For some reason, somebody thinks Penta got buried. He didn't get buried.
The Iron Man of the Royal Rumble. 44 minutes? You. Let's go, man.
Come on. He eliminated Kaiser in 6 seconds. That's not buried.
Hey, let me ask you this. How much is that a dig at AEW, low-key by Triple H and company? Because it's like, okay, this is how you properly, showcase a superstar of this magnitude.
Ladarius, you want to answer that? Or you want me to?
Listen, I told you. Listen, I'm just going to sit here and listen until my name is called. So,
Go ahead, Ladarius.
I'm having a good time. We're all having a good time. We're all having a great time. Well, I believe,
that guitar solo is really good, by the way.
Yeah. This is amazing.
And then, of course, yes, one of my favorite WrestleMania music entrants was in Living Color singing Cult of Personality at WrestleMania. That was one of my favorites.
It's just Living Color, not in Living Color. It's the show.
Yeah.
Well,
which WrestleMania was that?
I want to say it was the one in New York.
Because I went to that. I think that's the one that I went to. That's the one where it was Punk and Taker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at that one. I did go to that one.
That was a good match. Oh my god, I love
I had
that.
shitty seats, but I can say I went.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh,
my
I was gonna read the comment.
seats were
Oh,
very shitty. Look, get back in here. I love how he just sneaks attack on this stuff. So let's see, unless we're oh, okay. I'm less of a ring performer, more of a wise man to the tribal chief Ladarius. So are you booking a match for Ladarius versus Berto then, Craig?
I mean, that's the true David versus Goliath.
whoa. Listen, look. Now, first of all, Berto is a friend of mine.
Thank you.
And
Honored,
would it be a
honored.
great WrestleMania? Absolutely. The tickets are selling the minute you talk about it.
There we go.
But
But I like
I
it.
see Berto more as a friend, as a confidant. I could never face him one-on-one.
But if you win, you get to date Naya.
Not
Listen,
surprised.
I'm not choosing. Listen,
Not surprised,
don't.
brother.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
I'll be sacrificial lamb in this case.
We're not doing that. If anything, now if I have to face C double, then look.
Okay.
I value our friendship, but I'll see you in Vegas. I'll see you.
He put me in the hospital. Hold on. He
Jeez.
put me through the ladder.
Jeez.
Randy, or like,
I mean,
Man.
listen. Like, you listen. Berto could just sneak attack me if I try a betrayal. You know, he could listen. This guy could pull a Seth Rollins. We're all it's like me, you, and we're all staying in the ring, and like Triple H. Somebody's gonna come betray, and then all of a sudden, I feel a steel chair on my back.
Well, I
And
can
then
just
C-Double's
go
like, oh my
Michael
God.
super kick route.
Yeah,
I can do that.
hold on, let me do that.
oh yeah, I can go through
face
glass.
that
Yeah,
hammer.
anything that makes it work. Just make sure to protect the face. That's all I ask.
Crazy. Yeah, right. The money maker. Come on.
Yeah, you listen. Chris gets bros before you listen. Chris. First of all, Chris.
Chris is just an outstanding citizen that just has a firm grasp of friendship and life.
Exactly. You know, Chris. I value your words.
There you go. Hey, Chris, have you found your inner peace today? I think you have, my friend. That's his slogan.
Especially after yesterday.
Gonna send me.
Oh my God,
bro! Look, I'll be honest with you. If I do, it would be a surprise. But I know that my knee, my hammy, the quad, that'll be all torn to shred, man. I don't know, man.
You remember what was it? Remember when Vince ran to the ring and dove into it and
tore his quad? Yeah.
That'd probably be us. Right.
Oh man.
I'll be on my butt.
Jesus.
That was one moment I'll never forget. Just seeing
Never.
him just yelling
That's
and
true.
cussing, sit down. I'm going, what the hell happened to him? Then you hear he tore both his quads. I'm like, dang.
That's crazy.
So yeah, Joe Henry showing up, that was amazing. AJ Styles coming back. I mean, any other participants that stood out to you? I thought Braun Breaker's spear on Roman, even though the spear on I Show Speed was something, that one on Roman was crazy. What do y'all think?
Yeah, that was something else, man. Just don't pull in Adam Copeland. Oh my God.
Look, pal, we are no coping. We don't
no coping here.
No cope.
Yeah,
Next
man.
thing you're gonna say is don't pull a Dax, and I will take that as an offense.
Lord, I admire that spear because for me, I look at it in a different perspective. I view that as growth within the talent, the company, what Triple H is trying to do. Because would that spear have happened if Vince was, in charge? Probably not, because you're not going to mess up the Golden Boy in any way, shape, or form. But Triple H at least allows other wrestlers to feel like they can be in the same space with a guy like Roman or Punk, Randy, etc. Guys like that. So for me, I look at it that way. Like, Roman's not untouchable. You can have a marquee matchup with a guy like that. You don't need to be a superstar at the caliber as Roman is, but you can be a little bit under and still deliver for the audience. So for me, that's how that moment spoke to me. So I loved it, man. I thought it was amazing. I know he must have felt his confidence go through the roof when that happened. So a selfless thing for Roman to allow, also putting young talent like that over in such a way.
Oh yeah. Ladarius, what about you? What did you think about the Braun Breaker? Oh, and now he's putting the earbuds on. See, I love Ladarius, man. He's like, oh, now you could speak to me. Speak, peasant.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was my name called? I apologize.
Yes, sir. I was calling your name. I said
you-
your name, and I was expecting you to appear.
Listen, you don't say my
Because I
my name enough on this show, so I don't know when to appear or not. So
Because I was like Ladarius Brown, and I said your name, and I was like,
listen, you don't need to put my full government name out there like that. That's just like that's first name is very it's sufficient.
I got you.
So
Well,
now,
Mr.
what do you want me to talk about?
Well, no, I was just going to ask you, what did you think about Braun? And if you would like, Demetrius is bringing up Jacob Fatu, but what did you think about the Rumble?
Well, I didn't finish my Seth. I didn't finish my Seth. You know, we're going to say
no. Finish the Seth part because I wanted to hear it because you're a Seth guy. You know, Berto is a CM Punk guy. I'm a Cena guy. So
listen, see, you're trying to plant seeds here, C-Dub, and I don't like it.
I'm not planting seeds.
I see the
no,
tactic.
yeah, you are Johnny Appleseed. I know what you're trying to do here. We're not doing that.
First of all, I have no green thumb. I have black thumbs.
What?
I can't throw shit.
Wait, time out. A lot of colors we could have went there, and you know what? Forget it. I feel about that the same way.
I could say green thumb, but I can't say green thumb again.
Listen, you said the other color thumb, and listen, I was already upset. Listen, it reminded me of what what happened at the end of NXT. That it had me those same feelings where there's an appropriate month and time to do everything.
Look, I got to say this. We all know that Ron, low key, went down to NXT and executive produced that final segment.
Yeah. Listen, Ron is still a friend. And was I angry about it? Yes. Because there's a lot of chairs. You could deal with the chair? Great. But you chose you chose a scene from Roots, and that was the end of the segment. I'm like, that's not how you win the show. Listen, I'm not in that business, but I know how, it's called pick your moments. That's what it's called.
Someone should check the calendar, you're saying.
Listen, there's plenty of counters in that building, I assume. But, it's pretty obvious. But anyway, I'm taking too much time talking about, Roots now, which is a fine program to watch. Now, educate yourselves, people. Now, anyway, no, my whole thing is, and I said this earlier, that men's Royal Rumble, we're going to get a lot of matches out of it. And I like, because like I say, my feelings on CM Punk is this: he's going to be at WrestleMania whether he won the Rumble or not, because you can go a lot of different ways with CM Punk. But see, to me, Seth versus Roman just absolutely sells, because if you look, like I say, I keep talking about storylines. That's a lot of history there. That's a lot of history. And you kind of saw that you saw it at last year at WrestleMania. There's a lot of history.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind that. Now, if they go the triple threat match, if they add CM Punk, that would be interesting if they do that. Because, I would like that. Ideally, as for Drew McIntyre, listen, I don't know what that man did, but to be clear, because I saw somewhere like they're trying to get a Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre match. I already know that they're on the same page with me as yes. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, listen, that's a great question. Thank you, Gary. Because people didn't want to hear my thoughts. I want to hear Carrie's question. It's a great question.
No. Answer your stuff.
No, listen. You said I had some control here, and I'm using my creative control.
Because I was wanting to hear what you had to say.
Mom.
All right.
No. Listen. If you don't want me to say anything, then
no, I want you to. The point is, I want you to speak. But okay.
Oh, me. What am I doing right now? What do you call that?
But
I'm using words espousing out of my mouth, and that's forget it. Yeah. Now, the color thumb and all. Anyway, forget it. Yeah. But
nice. Kurt Angle is going to have a meet and greet. Did not know that. Very cool. But go ahead. So you want us to go ahead and answer this question now?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, this is an interesting question. because she,
All right.
you know, Carrie knows who the answer to this.
Yeah,
But
well-
who is C Dub's and Berto's favorites? I think I know one. One, I think I know both. So I'm just gonna secretly write it down.
Okay.
Let's see, C double.
All right. Yeah.
Um,
So, Berto,
let's see.
he's got
let's see.
his liquids.
I think it's. Let me say.
Not Logan Paul.
You don't know what I'm writing down.
I'm trying to help you.
Oh, now I need your help. Fantastic. Now, great.
I'm trying.
Now I can't do it by myself.
Hold on. No, sorry, Ladarius. I wasn't trying to stop your point, my friend. Just when you had a chance, I'm curious. Sorry.
You didn't do anything wrong, Carrie. You did nothing wrong.
We got
C double on the
Well done,
Berto did
Snake.
nothing wrong. C double, that WrestleMania match is looking.
I got a
pretty good.
story about that.
Yeah. I've heard about the well done steak theory.
Oh, hold on. 'Cause I'm about to shock some folks. What I'm about to fucking say.
Alright.
But,
All right.
but to answer Carrie's question, CM Punk is my all-time favorite wrestler, bar none.
Okay, yep, I got that right.
All right.
All right, D double, what's yours?
Joe Henry. No.
I wouldn't put it past you.
No, actually, my favorite wrestler of all time is Jerry Nims. That's what I'm supposed to say on record. Say his name and Jerry will appear. Super kick for everyone. Anyway,
Jesus.
there we go. That's how we should do Jerry music. Oh my God. No, not Hulk Hogan. No, Really?
If that was the
Really?
case, Carrie, I wouldn't be on this show. I wouldn't be.
Nah. I'd rather not even say Ultimate Warrior because I was a big Warrior
You know,
fan. But no, my favorite.
I actually had two names. I had either Akeem or Isaac Yankem. So I wasn't sure. So
no, my favorite wrestlers. It's tied for two guys.
Okay.
John Cena.
Papa Shango.
The other one is Sting.
Damn, Papa Shango.
And Kevin Federline. Okay, that's great. Thanks for that.
Kevin Federline, what are we doing here?
Why you got to bring that bad memory up?
Listen,
Oh man,
he pinned John Cena, and I'm still not over that.
I
That
want
still
Cena
angers
versus
me.
Kevin Federline in this retirement year.
So can I address something right quick because there's this thing. My steaks have to be well done. That's just life for me. Well done. But I will say to the masses, I did try a medium rare this past weekend.
Oh,
and I'm not mad at it at all.
Alright.
It was pretty good. They tried to serve it to me with some mashed potato. I said, "You to the mashed potato." I said, "You give me my rice," in true Puerto Rican fashion with some asparagus. And listen, I'm not gonna front. It was good. It was good. But it's not a life changer for me. I can live and say that I did try it. If it's available at a function, I'm not gonna say no to it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say no. So I'm all aboard on the medium well. Thank you.
Yeah, medium well is how I eat my steak. I don't eat it well done anymore. I used to, but no.
Yeah.
But so Carrie, we're gonna go back to Ladarius, but Carrie was saying, what about pre CM Punk? Because she feels
shit. I would. You know what? It would be CM Punk and Randy for me.
okay.
Yeah, Randy Orton.
All right, now Ladarius, would you like to answer the question? Even though she might know already, but I know you. Just in case if you maybe have some different ones.
Oh, I can talk. Yeah, I'll always ask for your permission. So
You don't have to talk. You don't have to ask permission.
no, it feels like sometimes I do.
Oh, would you stop?
So listen, well, my all time favorite is The Undertaker. To me, and the thing that sticks with me with The Undertaker is first of all, just love him, love the characters, the iterations he's done. Like you can rank his, that's how longevity and how great he's been. And then from the women's side, I like to throw in. I was a Lita guy. I was an absolute Lita guy. Like Trish is great, but listen, Give me Lita, and then listen, Randy Orton's career, to me, what I love about Randy, when you give me like pure heel Randy, like when Randy was out here kicking heads like he was Adam Vinatieri, like it was like it was nobody's business. Like that to me, and then also he did the all-time favorite thing. He did the RKO to Hulk Hogan on the back of a car. So if he's not in the Hall of Fame just for that, then because and then the Undertaker drug Hulk Hogan. I think I picked the right couple of guys. So you know what? So I felt the whole time I just didn't like Hogan because the RKO and then Undertaker dragging around Hogan, tying him to the back of the motorcycle. Good times. I mean, not for Hogan. I don't care about that, but
A lot of people don't.
yeah. I'm only wishing that Tessa Blanchard was there. Lita could have beat up. Listen.
Oh!
Lita and beat up Tessa. Listen. There's the partnership. At some point, I wouldn't be shocked if it was a Rumble and it was Tessa Blanchard and people. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to. I try to be civil.
Are you? Hold on. Are you maybe pointing out a certain scenario that happened to Miss Chelsea Green when she got in the middle of a certain
what? C-double?
A certain for lovely, cake-alicious ladies.
Yeah.
Jeez, what are we doing here?
First of all, there was a whole lot of cake in that Rumble.
You see Berto like on the news, like he's like a newscaster. He's like, I gotta get this last prep. Cake-alicious.
There was a lot of cake. It was cake-alicious.
We're live in 5, 4, 3.
Jeez, no cue on that one. He just went right in. There's a lot of cake, by the way. I'm like, oh, bro,
Whoa.
hold up. Where's
There
the
was
warning
a lot of
shot?
cake in the women's Rumble, and they went with bread pudding. They went with no booty Charlotte. How? Hunter, I need answers. BBL Braley was in the ring. You had EO. You had thick Zillas all over the place, and you went with no booty.
This man just went cultural, like
right. It's like, you know what? I don't know. Should I show up to work tomorrow for the podcast? I don't know.
Man,
I don't know.
Holy crap!
I don't know. I might show up late tomorrow for that morning podcast.
C-Dub, you all right over there, man? You sound a little backed up or pent up, man.
Hang on. Listen. Hang on. Hang on. Let me get my dictionary. Give me just a minute. Hang on.
Darius, we're watching the Rumble.
Hang on. Let me get my phone. Let me get my tablet here. Hang on.
I'm like,
I gotta drink some. I'm thirsty, man. Hold up.
Zilla. Is that with 2 C's or 1? You're just curious. 2. Okay.
Yeah.
You can listen. Webster's and you may have a different.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, come on. And then, favorite WWE diva of all time.
Oh, she was tremendous. Mm-hmm.
She was probably my first girl crush. All right, cool.
I agree.
Like, as in women wrestler, I am on Lita because she was one of a kind. She wasn't like the other women. And then I love China. I love China. And I'm talking,
China,
she was kind of like bodybuilder China. And then she got all the implants and everything. Then it's better. But I really enjoyed watching her work against the guys and the women. So it was
this
like,
guy, you're bunting singles to the left field.
Hold on, this is my people. Hold on, when they say ask me anything, be careful, people.
Listen, this is why we don't do like the Amy, like the Ask Me Anything shows.
Yeah.
You want to know why? This is why. Like
this will get you canceled.
C-Dub make you going on Instagram, make you go on social media. Listen, C-Dub is a friend of mine.
Hey, I didn't like the time Trish was walking like a dog and barking. I did not like
you
that.
Didn't have to bring it up. My God, you could have left that. I didn't bring up the thing with Edge and Lita. You just brought up like we know it, but we don't have to say it.
Yeah. Well, my cousin actually, they knew Lita.
Oh, that's true, Chris. That's very true. And Aaliyah, oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. Also, Trish and Lita were just amazing. I mean, they were on that level, man. And I mean, It's sad that if WWE would have given it the women time like they do now, it would have been some good stuff.
Yeah, because I always I say this, and I talked about it on social media. I would like for China to be one day inducted, and I understand there's elements and pieces as to why it hasn't happened. I understand, but like I said earlier, just because you understand something, you don't have to agree with it. Like China changed the game in terms of the women's division. In terms of she was fighting up against the men. She competed in a men's Royal Rumble. She was an Intercontinental champion. Like she did things. I argue she set the bar for women to actually do anything and compete against the men and compete for championships. And that's why I push so hard for these women to have mid-card championships, because it's there. And like I said, I just look at China in that regard. Like her, to me, it's like the pinnacle of like the game changer in that regard.
She was. And if you think about it, there's no one like her. The only one that's came close, that has even come somewhat close, that's Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
And she's embraced it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some other ones like in NWA, but they're not getting pushed right now. So, I feel bad for those folks. So, yeah.
Yeah. Like I like what A1 said, because that's the same reason why I think she won't get in.
Yeah.
Is, I think that's the reason why. Like I said, just because you understand it doesn't mean you have to necessarily agree with it. So
I remember when she was with S.A. Rios.
Oh man, S.A. Rios.
Yeah, that's when I remember first seeing Lita, and I went, "Oh, look at her!" And she was doing a hurricane, and I'm like, and you knew, like with the women, they normally were valets. So when you see her doing a hurricane,
Phoenix,
like better than some of the guys.
Glamazon,
man.
Oh,
her and Santino. Let me tell you something.
No, that was pure comedy, man. Can't forget Miss Jacqueline. Miss Jacqueline was a force too, man.
Oh, yes, Miss Jackie. Oh,
like I said, also like Victoria. Like I like her in the Hall of Fame too. Like the Widow's Peak.
There are. I think China deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for what she did. I think Victoria should be. She's had a lot of great matches back in the day. So these women need to be celebrated. And I hope, look, Hunter's showing that he can give people chances. So let's see what happens. But
oh yeah, by the way, Michelle McCool, like that too. Yeah.
She needs to. Yeah, she's also another one. I would like.
I saw Berto. Listen, I saw Bert's reaction. I respect it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want somebody here to stir the pot. I'm going to say I understand. I understand, Berto.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Because somebody in the upper left-hand corner may try to stir up a match.
Absolutely. He's just a bona fide line stepper and a shit starter. I'll just tell you.
Yeah. This is our show.
No, wait. No. What did you say? You said my show. You were going to say my.
I said our show.
No, pal. I love you, but you said my before you.
I heard it.
I said our.
Nope, you said our. No, listen. I know when you're trying to change gears in the movie.
No mercy that came out, pointing out little left to the right. Yep. Oh man, we're quoting video games too.
Carrie bringing up Stacy Keibler. Listen.
Oh, I know.
You want to talk about a lot of childhood stuff
candy.
Now see that Stacy Keibler, very good.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, funny story about Stacy Keibler.
I don't know.
All right,
if I would.
Y'all remember WrestleMania 20, right?
Chris, what's wrong with you, man?
You remember the bra and panties match? It was Sable and Trish Stratus.
Chris is saying Stacy Keibler was a game changer. That's what he said.
Man, Chris is in his feelings, bro. Yeah.
Got to have me.
I got to have me, man.
Christopher,
what happened to
find
this
your
show?
manners, man.
Woo, Chris, you might need to take a cold shower after this.
Executive producer of this show, Paul Levesque, Lee Fink, Shawn Michaels, and C.W.
Yeah.
I'm not putting my name on this.
Put
my name
on.
One day, Ladarius will say, "I'll put my name on this show."
Yeah, and guess what? It's not this show.
Oh, Mickey James. Mickey James was badass.
Oh, and let's not forget about.
She was good in WWE. She became great in TNA.
Yeah, I was gonna say she took that next. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, hardcore country.
Yeah.
And can we also shout out to Gail Kim as well, since we're talking
Gail
about
Kim's
TNA.
another one. Yep.
She
100%. She was
Also
misused in WWE, man.
Yeah, so bad.
Severely, man. Bad. Like she at the time that she came in, that could have been, like she could have been your top woman performer on the card. But
again, those are the type of women I talk about. It's like, think about those women. If they would have had the kind of
I think I wrote some pieces about. I think I gotta check my archives. I've been the women's sport. I know I write a lot about women's. I think I did. Make me check the archives. Making me do extra work, C-Dub. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm there for. Look, first of all, I'm just going to say it like this. So, WrestleMania 20. All right. It was the bra and panties tag team match.
Oh, God.
I'm watching with my family. Now, my wife at the time was pregnant for my son. And, there was a risk of the baby might come out. And I was like, and everyone's like, well, what would happen if it happened during the show? I'm like, I would do what we need to do and get to the hospital, and I'll come back on WrestleMania.
Oof, I thought you were talking about I thought you was going somewhere.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's not even 8 o'clock. You already dropping rated R segments.
I'm telling on her. Because here's why.
Now you see why my name's not on this episode.
All right, hold on. This is where I'm going to make this funny.
Got it.
So I go in, or she calls my name, and it's about to start the bra and panties match, but because I go and check on her, and she goes, my water broke. And I'm trying to check. I'm like, okay, and I'm checking to see if where the water is and whatnot. Like where, what did the valve break? You said water break, but I don't see no water. And she's like, no. And I'm like, oh. And my brother-in-law popped in, and he's like, what's going on? It's like, her water broke. Oh God, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? She's dying laughing. By the time I came out, the match was over.
Oh shit.
To this day, I've never seen that match. And what was so funny is the person that was so upset about it wasn't me. It was the brother-in-law. That's messed up. How could you do that to him? He could have stroked out and everything. And all I'm saying is I'm recording it. It's okay. So again, that shows you I was stealing wrestling back in the day, and I had no problem because $50 was $50. But yeah, WrestleMania. She just decided to do that, and I'm like going, thanks, appreciate you. But no, I mean, and of course, if something happened, I would have took care of business. But yeah, and 20-something years later, I still have my son. So I'm not afraid to say what everybody wanted to say.
Listen, hey, Chris, speak your truth. Speak your truth, Chris.
Exactly. Speak your truth, just like me. Don't be afraid.
No, listen. Don't take the C double route. Just speak your truth. Speak.
You have a lot going for you, Chris.
Yeah,
you take the C-dub route, you might get canceled, brother.
Yeah, and all of our names are here, and our faces are here. It's gonna look bad for everybody.
Jeez.
I end up getting a phone call. We need to have a meeting, and I'm like, oh boy.
Chris, do you remember the part when she grabbed Trish that one area, and then they did that? Man, that was an awesome look. That was awesome. I got Ladarius. Oh God, I got him. What? That what happened in the match?
What is going on here? Oh my God.
Well, like I said, bread pudding should never beat cake.
This is one roller coaster I did not ask to be on.
Wait, what? What'd you say? Bread pudding should not be what?
Bread pudding should never win over cake. Charlotte beating all those cake-alicious ladies should never have lost, or should never have won the Women's Rumble.
I'm real concerned over you.
And that's tonight's CBS Evening News for tonight.
Seriously,
all of the CBS News. You'll see Berto in this chair tomorrow. I'll be on vacation. Good night.
Jeez.
Chris is remembering the mud matches. No, we're not going to go there. I promise I'll not go there.
Listen, I would say
bring up Carrie's point. Bring up Carrie's point.
Yeah.
That's very valid.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, not the Raw Panties tag team match.
With the family, like
with the family. See, you're a wild man, bro.
The family, we watched WrestleMania. It was like a holiday at the time. We all watched
Jesus.
it. We knew what
Was
we
it the
were
4th of
doing.
July? What
Oh, I
Oh,
bet there wasn't
man.
sparklers going off or anything like that. It was
Well,
probably
no,
Yeah.
C-Dub.
I was taking care of business.
Lord.
Man, Jesus.
There you go.
Listen, I'm afraid to invite Chris on the show now because
Oh,
you know,
no.
Yeah.
Chris, you want in? I'll throw you the
no,
link.
Sheesh.
you trying to get us all canceled, C-Dub. Jesus. You know, me
Look,
and Berto, we're going. You know, we're doing.
We're having a
C-Dub, you're
better
going.
show
We're all going
than,
places.
NXT
What are you
or
doing?
than AEW.
We're in the show. You're gonna get us kicked out of the show because of you. Because
Lord.
they're gonna.
Thank
Because
you
you're gonna
for
say
allowing
something,
my
and then it's.
content.
Oh my
So, all right. So we talked about the Rumble. What's
Yeah, I didn't make any points, but okay.
But yeah, no. Any other points?
No,
Anything
I'm
you guys
good.
wanna
I'm
say?
good. After all of that nonsense, my points are superfluous at this point. Just
What was the what are some moments at the Rumble that really did stand out for you guys? What are some things that you really do feel excited when you think about this Rumble though?
wait,
We'll
I'm
start
trying to collect myself, Bird. I'll let you go. I'm trying to collect myself.
Let me see. You know, I'm still a fan of how they presented Penta. I really am. I'm still excited about that. They teased a lot of matches, and that's I think Ladarius brought that up with the seeds being planted and stuff like that. They worked some stuff through Penta. Penta is a great in-ring performer, and they just gave him the stage to go ahead and do so. So for me, I think that's the biggest highlight for me. It was, you know, them utilizing Penta as great as they did, because I think he could be not a main event player, but a mid-card player. And it's just good, you know. And for me, this might sound biased and whatnot, but hey, it is what it is. We need more Latino, you know, more of a Latino presence. We got it with Damian Priest for a little bit. So yeah, I'm all for the Penta hype train to go and see if, you know, he could put on a title, maybe challenge Shinsuke Nakamura for that United States belt, and see what he can do with it. But I think to me, it's the way that they showcased the newbies, the Jordan Grace, the Pentas, and stuff like that. I think they did a great job exemplifying these folks in this Rumble match.
Awesome. What say you, Ladarius?
That's the CBS Evening News. Oh no, okay, no, we're back. Okay.
Chris said he was hacked.
I was hacked too, Chris.
No, you see, if Chris says he's hacked, I'm like, we'll look into it. C-Dub says he got hacked.
Oh,
we're
Lord.
good. We're good. We're good. No investigation
Look,
needed.
Harry says it's been a great show. She hasn't, been offended yet. And if
No.
she hasn't been offended
Gee.
yet, obviously I haven't offended her. So that's good.
No. C-Dub, I'm sorry, Ladarius too. Let me apologize this real quick. Do you know it is almost a year to date since all three of us live streamed at 5 a.m. Elimination Chamber?
Oh my
That
God.
was last year. That's the last time I live streamed with you guys a full PLE.
Yeah, I remember that.
It has to happen again. That has to happen. I've
We need
said
that.
this multiple times, and I just fucking fumble all the goddamn time. But what can I do, right?
Yeah.
Life is life.
If
We got to do that again. That was fun. That was fun.
Yeah. I mean,
But
5 a.m.
Gary.
we all showed up.
Shit.
We
I,
all-
me and Ladarius were on time.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
I was on time too. I just had to make coffee.
We,
and then I had to
two
make
of us were
myself breakfast.
professional.
Right.
Now the third person, I'm not going to say who. Let's see. No, I'm not offended easily unless something's directly targeting me, like you're being me. You're good, C-Dub.
Oh, man.
See.
Yeah, and I assume I'm good too, Carrie. Me and Bert are in the clear. Let's put that for the record
God.
because
I need to be in good graces because Lord knows me in the YouTube space. I'm on the bad graces with a lot of people. Jeez.
No,
Well, that's a different story.
What was the pay-per-view? It was in Australia, wasn't it?
It was Perth, Australia.
Yes,
Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
I remember
And
that graph where they posted all the times. I'm like, thank
Yeah.
God they did that because
Shit.
that was wild.
look,
That was
I was
fun.
looking at my phone today. It's like, oh, it's 3 a.m. Oh crap, I gotta get ready. It's like,
Oh shit.
It's like I was like, okay, I gotta get my phone ready. All right, let me
but two of us here were on time, and we were.
look.
Having a great
Y'all
time.
didn't want me naked, did you?
No, what?
Okay, I had
Whoa,
my clothes on.
Oh,
You know, y'all act like I had
Oh
to,
my-
be so early. It was just a pre-show. I didn't miss nothing.
Oh my God, my eyes, my head. Oh,
What's we have to have intervention at some point.
my
Sit down
cerebrum,
and just
my cerebellum, my medulla oblongata. It's all damaged. It's all
yeah.
I'm just saying. I made
was a
sure I
lot.
was clothed.
Yeah,
I made,
no, listen,
Come on,
that's
I'm
a
a big freaking guy that you were. Like Jesus.
oh, yeah,
that's a
I'm
pause.
not
Listen,
like,
that's
I'm
a
not
listen.
like
That
Terry. I put a gold chain on and
oh
just
my
show up
God.
with no chain.
Oh my God. Clothing
I mean,
is
Ladarius
required.
is the
Thank
wild.
you,
I mean,
Terry.
not
Clothing
Ladarius.
is
That was the wild one that showed up on a live with his hamburger meat all hanging out and stuff like that. It's just here at what public gonna do? What are you doing?
listen.
What is that? What kind? That's
Here's the thing, Berto. Unfortunately, I've had to see him and Terry shirtless. I did not
God.
ask for it. And I
oh
don't know what I did so wrong in a past life to deserve that. But you know,
Terry who?
like
He will.
like
You know, he will
He-
from.
he
T
will.
will. What in
Yeah.
the ditty's going on over here,
One
bro? What the
time
hell's going on?
Because
One time
it was
for the bad guy.
because we did a meet.
Yo,
It
I
was
know,
me.
I know, brother T will.
Yeah, it was like we did, and then all of a sudden he shows up with his chains, no shirt, and I'm
The
like,
call
and,
I didn't pick up.
I gotta
and,
call
and,
T will.
and I said,
I gotta call T will. I fear for his
and I
well-being.
told him, you're telling me you could not pick up a shirt. You chose the chains over the shirt. That's a business decision that I don't agree with. That's oh man. Clothing is you know,
Look,
it's like
we're wearing
when you go to the
clothes.
grocery
I
store when
got
they
my
say
shirt
shirt and
on, I
shoes
got my
like
lounge
required, you shouldn't have to tell people that, but you do have to tell people that.
To be fair, Ron calls us at like midnight a lot too. So you
Listen,
know,
Ron.
I
we
love
gotta
Ron,
also
but
throw Ron
respectfully,
under the bus.
I'm like, listen, I love Ron, but I'm out.
Man. Hey, brothers, I gotta head, man. I gotta get ready for get ready for a night show. But yeah, go ahead, C-Dub. I'm sorry.
Real quick.
Yep.
Just tell us, what did you think about CM Punk versus Sami Zayn, and then
Yeah.
the Sami Zayn KO thing? Because you know
Yeah.
all the history relied to that. So let's get your pick.
So I'll start with the Sammy KO situation. Damn it, about time. About time.
Yes.
Like we waited so long, you know, the history is a rich history there. That match itself has enough weight that it can be one of the better matches on a WrestleMania card, which is trending in that direction that match is going to happen at WrestleMania. But I'm in this capacity as a fan. Thank God it's finally happening because we know we're going to get a 5-star match from both of these guys. It's going to be a banger of a match. If you're a true wrestling fan and you follow through the ROH and throughout the indie scene, you guys are about to witness magic with these two in the ring, man. These guys are going to put on a performance of a lifetime. The whole CM Punk Sami Zayn match, hey, listen, I liked it. For me, that's a 5-star match for me too. On a Monday Night Raw, it was unbelievable, right? Obviously, two of the top performers, you know, on a Monday Night Raw card, you know, vying for that spot in the Elimination Chamber. But you kind of knew that, you know, Punk was the guy. To be fair, Sammy's not on Punk's level. Sorry, not sorry. But I'm glad that the match did happen, and it was fantastic, man. It really was.
Awesome. Go ahead. I know people are asking about what's going on tonight, so
yeah,
plug what you're doing and plug how we could get to you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. So to answer Carrie's question, yes, 9:30. I'll be coming on a little bit later. Myself and Bro Talk. We're gonna just do a quick pop-up show, do a quick mock draft. So hopefully, you know, you guys can tune into that. Finish doing my finished doing my Bleacher Report assignment earlier tonight, which that's available now on the Bleacher Report app itself under the Falcons stream, reacting to the Kirk Cousins dilemma that the Falcons now face going into free agency and into the off season. So that's a platform you can catch me on Bleacher Report. You can also find me on 95 North Falcons Talk Show, my YouTube page that is up and running. Thank the Lord. I've been going through a little bit, you know, here and there with the YouTube world, but hey, it is what it is. Your boy's back. So I'm glad to be back in good graces in this space, man. I missed everybody. Haven't been on for a very long time. But yeah, 9:30 tonight. Catch me on the 95 North Falcons Talk Show. Mock draft 1.0 for the fans.
Ooh. Who are you thinking? Who are you thinking?
So at 15, I think the most logical choice is to trade down, you know, try to, you know, facilitate a trade. acquire more picks. This is a Falcons draft that we go into with limited picks, 5 picks only. And the Falcons have holes, on defense. So depending on what free agency offers, if it does offer any splashes, then we can take from that and apply it to what we do in the draft. But ultimately, I want us trading back and really plugging up the depth and some of the starter vacancies that we have on defense.
Cool. Y'all make sure and check out Berto. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Falcon.
Good stuff.
Check him
Appreciate you guys,
Like,
man.
subscribe.
And we got to do this again, fellas, man.
Yes.
Much love to the both of you, man. Thank you for opening up the platform and allowing me to come on, man, for a little bit. It's always great catching up with you boys, man. I will talk to you guys very soon again. To the chat, thank you guys for the support. As always, I will see you guys later on tonight, everybody. Peace.
Peace.
Yes, sir.
Show much love to Berto. Remember, 9:30 later tonight, he'll be on. So definitely want to check him and Bro Talk. They break it down really good. I really enjoy their stuff.
You're good, yeah.
So, okay. Are we good now?
What do you mean,
I
are
feel
we
like I
good?
shamed
What the
you.
hell does that mean, are we good?
Like
What does
you're
that
ashamed
mean?
of me.
What do you
like
mean,
you're
are we good? What do you mean, are we good?
I feel like you're upset with me.
Well, you're never going to know, are you?
Oh, Lord. See, I try to be upfront with people. I don't try to be like, oh, you won't know. What kind of stuff is that?
Listen, you have your approach. I have my approach.
All
People
right.
like apples. People like oranges. So,
What did you think? All right, so we saw what happened on Monday Night Raw. They gave pretty much the first segment to Jey Uso, and I almost want to say it was a big FU to all the haters, but they made sure it took a long time for that entrance, which is beautiful. First time we ever saw it where the crowd was wanting an encore, and he got the technicians to roll the song back up and everything. What did you think about the promo, everything? What did you think?
no, I was. Oh no, we're past the Royal Rumble. I'll save those thoughts for another time.
No, I mean you can also bring up Rumble too.
No. We're talking about Raw now. So we're talking about Raw.
No, but I mean we're talking about the man that just won the Rumble. So I mean we could talk.
Oh, did he? I had no idea. I couldn't see the 2025 Royal Rumble. I couldn't see that. Thank you.
Right there.
Thanks. Yeah. Thank you.
I did it for The Rock.
But before I get started, I want to say, like a thank Roberto for coming on. Listen, if there's a guy in the Falcons committee who knows this stuff, he puts in the work and the research, like him, like especially Chris, but check out Berto tonight because listen, I just want, I was going to throw in something, but I know, but I know he had to go, but I was going to say in a very deep defensive draft, I think the right move is to kind of trade back given the pick situation. Now, as for the Jey Uso situation, I think, and I think me and Berto talked about this as well. The promo, you could have made a case that it kind of felt like, maybe he was. I think Jey Uso, it really sunk in that he really won the Royal Rumble because sometimes it's like, I hear it all the time when they win Oscars or big awards or anything like that it doesn't necessarily sink in the moment they win. It takes like a day or so. And I think for Jey Uso, I think him winning the Rumble, it finally sunk in. And that promo he did was emotional. It came from the heart and people still didn't like it. And all I got to say is this. It's one thing if you don't like Jey Uso. It's a whole, if you don't like that he won, that's totally fine. And that's your perspective and your point of view. But at the end of the day, it's a story. And all I hear people saying that, oh, well, this person should have won that. No, at the end of the day, Jey Uso, we're going to probably get Uso versus Gunther. That's no doubt in my mind. And people are saying, well, he lost that Saturday night, man. I'm like, here's the thing. I'll put it this way. It adds intrigue in the same reason why John Cena didn't win the Royal Rumble. Because if you think about it, Cena, there's a story. This man hasn't won a match in how long? And he openly admits that. Days. So basically, if you do the 2,000 days math, like how many years is that?
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
at least we're pushing over 5 years, at least. So, it, and with Jey Uso, well, why did Jey Uso win? Because everyone loves a good underdog story. If you do it right and you tell the story correctly, it makes sense. And at the end of the day, that promo with Jay cut on Raw was absolutely amazing because it sunk in that he won the Royal Rumble. Like people say, oh well, I think what exactly correct. Like everybody loses. Yeah, exactly. Owens lost twice to Code before their bank. Exactly. That's the point. That's the exact point I'm making. It's like, oh, he lost on set. I'm like, who cares? It's like people when people say things like that, like because there's people like Craig said, like there are people who actually go around and saying things like that. I'm not saying Craig says that, but the people who who will say, well, Jay lost to this, I don't see the intrigue. It's just that you're not trying to see it. It's because, like he said, he makes the perfect point. Go look at Cody beating Owens twice.
Yeah.
Nobody brought that up when they faced at the Royal Rumble. Nobody brought that up. But all of a sudden, and people say, oh, recency bias. No, I'm not buying it. People just didn't want Jey Uso to win, so they're looking for reasons to justify what they're saying. And at the end of the day, if you didn't want him to win, I understand. But do not sit here and pretend like people didn't lose, like he was supposed to beat Gunther, and all of a sudden it makes him credible. No, the losing adds to the story. Here's the thing. These are the same people, and I love telling this story. Remember who did Cody Rhodes face when he first came back to WWE?
Isn't that Seth Rollins?
Yes. And how many times did Seth Rollins lose to Cody Rhodes?
3.
And I'm sorry, who was the inaugural WWE World Heavyweight Champ?
That would
Who
be
did?
Seth Rollins. The one that people said got buried.
You see where I'm going with this, correct?
Yes, sir.
So, folks, losing happens. And I even said then, I think I said it on the wrestling. I think I said it on this show. I said it somewhere. I don't know who was listening or not, but I said it. And it's not because I'm a Seth Rollins guy. Well, maybe partially that's why, but listen, there's a reason why Triple H had chosen Seth Rollins to face Cody 3 times. He trusted Seth Rollins to be the guy at the biggest stage for the company, in the biggest stage possible. Everybody's watching. That's who he wanted. He wanted Seth Rollins to face a returning Cody Rhodes. And yet he lost not 1, not 2, but 3 times. And he was rewarded with the championship. Why? Because you're too focused on the losing to understand that Seth Rollins winning does not benefit him whatsoever. It was about Cody coming in and beating one of the top guys in the company. And there's nobody well respected in that locker room than Seth Rollins. There's a couple of guys, and Seth Rollins is one of them. So I don't want to hear this logic that, oh well, and like Craig said, I've heard people say that, oh, everybody loses. It's just like this. And for the Penta thing, Penta was the last. He lasted over 40 minutes in that match. And he wasn't buried. If anything, Penta's going to hold a belt this year. I'm very confident. Because I could make a case that once we figure out what's going on with the whole thing between like Braun Breaker, Sheamus, and Kaiser, I believe they're in the Intercontinental title mix, in my opinion. Once we get that sorted, or like I said, they're still I think the transfer portal's closed or whatever. But listen, they make up things as they go. It's like whose line's it anyway? So
rules don't count.
Rules don't matter. So he could end up on SmackDown and challenge Shinsuke for the United States Championship. I believe they value Penta just because how can I phrase it? What your expectations is not how the company sees it. Just like Roxanne Perez was the longest lasting woman in the women's Royal Rumble. She's going to be a champion. Understand, like you don't have to win the Rumble to have you go over. You look at the performances. Like Jordan Grace didn't win, but man, she won over a lot more people. If you weren't a fan of Jordan Grace, you were definitely, now that she's officially under the WWE umbrella, skies the matches are endless. But the tie back, but this all goes back to the Jey Uso point. At the end of the day, if you can't understand that this has been years in the making, and I want to answer the correct question here. Like, I wonder if things will change when Phoenix eventually shows up, when the AEW deal is done for Penta. I would be curious to see how. I don't necessarily think it's going to change the trajectory of Penta per se, because depending on when Phoenix's deal ends, I think Penta is going to be an established enough guy where Phoenix can come in and they can kind of pick up or whatever. However, so that's a good point, Craig. But to kind of put a bunk, I don't want to take up too much more time. The thing is this. The thing with Jey Uso is, so what if he lost? Like I just said, Seth Rollins lost. Kevin Owens lost to Cody.
Mm-hmm.
CM
Punk lost.
And it did not change the trajectory of where they are today. Because when people throw around the, guys are being buried and stuff, I think people just use certain words just sometimes to hear themselves. And I'm not disrespecting John's comment from earlier. It's just burying someone is essentially having them come out and losing squash match after. That's burying somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That's burying. Putting them in great matches, ensure they come up on the losing end. That's not burying. There's a difference. There's a very finite line. And for Jey Uso, he lost. So what? Because here's the thing. Jey Uso may get that Damian Priest type run. Like Berto said, like me and Berto talked, like he may get that run. But the point is this, it does not take away from the story that's being told. Because you can't say that, why did you want John Cena to win? Why? And then, and I listen, I love John Cena. I know you love John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
But why would he benefit from winning the Rumble? Because that means he wins the Rumble. That means he's got to be there. And listen, he had to film a movie. He was literally the poster guy for Elimination Chamber. So you know what I said to myself? Well, Elimination Chamber it is.
Yeah.
He's in another part of the world filming a movie. He's going to be gone this whole month. So he didn't need to qualify because he's John Cena. It's like people. It's like it's basically like this. It's like when you're a great team. It's like when you're a great team. There's a reason why you get a bye in the NFL. In the NBA, there's a reason. Listen, in sports, when you're a great team that year, you get the number one seed. You hold the advantage. There's a reason for that. John Cena has been the number one guy in the league for 2 decades. I think we can give him a pass from an Elimination Chamber qualifying. I think we can do that. Because the journey is more about him trying to win. It's not about championships. John Cena, could we get a program with him and Cody? Absolutely. But the point is, the journey is not about the championships. It's about him winning. It's about overcoming the odds and him losing to Austin Theory, losing to Solo Sikoa. In convincing ways, by the way. Because that match with him and Sikoa, I felt bad for Cena. Like Solo Sikoa really took it to him. It's like, gee, is John okay? But I didn't mean to take up too much time, but I'll just say this and close it with this. Jey Uso, if you follow the story, understand that it's more than the movement. It's more than the yeet. It's more than when that crowd reacts. The crowd is not just going to get a gimmick, and unless you can do something in the ring, which he's proven he can, because sometimes we've seen gimmicks fall by the wayside because people are like, oh well, they're great, but when they see the ring work, like I don't know. But when they saw Daniel Bryan, Jeff Hardy, like someone mentioned, and Rey Mysterio, those guys, they were hell of a competitors in the ring, and they got over on the fans like us. So let Jay have this moment, because at the end of the day, WrestleMania is about moments. And if Jay beats Gunther, it's going to be a moment. Just in the same way when you saw The Rock, Roman, when you saw greats past and present, it was a moment. Like you mentioned, like you just freeze in time.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen for Jay. So that's what the promo was great. Because, yeah, there was some emotion in it, and that's fine. But let's not. At the end of the day, it was a great promo, and then the whole thing with Gunther, it was all great. So those are my. So I took too much time, but
You are fine. Don't worry about it, man. All right. Wanted to answer one question you brought up. John Cena's last singles win in WWE was actually at the greatest Royal Rumble in 2018. It's when Triple H had hair. It was 6 years, 8 months, and 13 days ago. 2,449 days. Probably 2,400.
25,600 men. I'm sorry. I was
Yeah.
singing the song.
Yeah, I know. Oh, and by the way, Jimmy Butler has been traded to the Golden State Warriors. The Heat are getting Anthony Wiggins and some other players, and they had to involve the Pistons to be in the third team. So big whoop. And on the other show, the mystery fifth person was Mark Davis. So Google it, find out who he is. Apparently, he's the tag team partner of that Kyle guy. The guy that was so important that they just figured not to let win the tournament, the C2 thing, whatever it was. So, did I just no sell that? All right. My view is this: what Jey Uso did was emotional. Honestly, if you hate that Jay won, you're just an idiot. You just want to hate something to hate it. All right. I know Ladarius just okay. He's gonna be right back. All right, cool. So I will just speak for a little bit, and we'll go from there. So if I know Gunther comes out, does his Gunther stuff, but the thing is this: Ladarius is right. He finally realizes he won the Rumble, and realizing all the work he put in. And look, did he have a bad match at WrestleMania with Jimmy? Yes. But he has worked hard to not have bad matches. And I think we all need to lay off. All right. This whole, oh, well, his match rate ain't as good as this guy's. And, he can't get, can he give you a story? Can he give you to believe in him? There you go. I need people to shut your mouths and just enjoy the show. Because this guy really, he's a family man. He has a son in the ring. It's some good stuff. And look, this is the first time we didn't have to have because what would have happened if Cena won? Y'all would have been probably going, "Oh, Jay should have won." No one's happy. So give the opportunity. Cena saw Jay, and by the way, like Ladarius said, not said it. Have you not seen the previews to the Elimination Chamber before Rumble? Cena was all over him. Guess what? He's in the chamber. And not only that, all you've done is Jay is gonna get a spot. He's guaranteed. And he could challenge for any title. Whatever title. If he wants the NXT title, he could go after it. If he wants the World Heavyweight title, he can go after it. If he wants that WWE title, he could go after it. What I'm saying is this: you let Jay run this race. Let him tell this story. because that's really what we want. And you know what? You're going to be enthralled. You're going to probably end up yeeting like everybody else, especially in Las Vegas. That place is going to be crazy for him when he finally does it. They've mentioned him not having a world title reign. There's a reason why. And yes, could he get like a Damian Priest run? Can he get someone like maybe a short run? You know what? Shannon Sharp said it best. No one ever told you how long the dream lasts. But did you become champion? Yes, you did. So let's just remember that through this whole thing. And also remember this. Every time we've watched wrestling, we've always said, well, why can't it be someone like who's been working their way up? Why couldn't it have been this person, this person? This is the first time Triple H. Let's do that. Jay deserves it. We didn't mean him. Stop it. All right? Just enjoy the show. Gunther comes out basically trying to get inside Jay's head, whatever. Or basically say, you know, you don't bother me. You don't deserve. But you know what? I believe it is going to be Jay versus Gunther. And if so, that will still be a good match. So let's just see what happens. Looking forward to it. I love the promo. I love Jay's fire. And I love that the crowd's so connected with him. And look, do I like Pat McAfee dancing along? No, I could do without that. But honestly, seeing the crowd dancing with him, seeing the kids getting involved, people of all ages and races, that's all you asking for. You want to connect, and that's a connection. So that's my thought. Now, I'm got to pull up because I pulled up the John Cena record thing. Was there anything you wanted to bring up about what Gunther said or anything, Ladarius?
No. I think in terms of, like I said, I think we're going to get Jay versus Gunther. I think, like, I wasn't too upset. I think the promo worked. It worked well, and my biggest thing is that like I don't want to be repetitious, but I just like the way they're slow approaching this. Listen, we have time to build it. It's going to work. It's going to be fine. And like I say, let the story play out. That's you know to avoid just let the story play out. I'm not saying you're going to get convinced as to why Jay won. All I'm saying is that don't shut the idea out if you're not willing to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. Just don't if even through all of this, if you still reject the idea, then fine. That's totally fine. All I'm conjecturing is that let it play out, see where it goes.
Yep. Now you brought up Penta, and he was the next match, and had a match with Kaiser because Kaiser only lasted 6 seconds. So to those, and look, we love you, John. All right, but this is funny that you were saying he got buried. Hold on. Worst parts for this, for Jay, whether real or not, The Rock is being involved in the company so much it gives people the excuse to discount him as just Rock's family. Yeah.
But that's a point. Yeah, it's you know, like I say, Craig is absolutely right. To me, it's a lazy excuse. Yeah, like Craig said, he doesn't agree with it, but he sees. Yeah, and I do too. Like, people are going to look for every reason in the world to shut down Jey Uso. They tried for him winning the Rumble, and they're going to try to shut him down from being champion. And what those are going to be one of the talking points we're going to hear a lot between now and Mania.
Yeah.
So,
and by the way, we're okay with Jay winning the title. We're okay for him winning the Rumble.
Yeah,
it was well deserved.
There's that handful of people, and like Craig mentioned, they're going to say, "Oh well, The Rock," and then because I don't know if you saw the graphic, but they said that he was the fourth Samoan to win. Anoa'i to win. I'm like, that's going to fuel people like, oh well, see, well, oh by the way, oh The Rock, you know, we know The Rock, you know, he's in the company, he's he's the top. We're going to get it. And like, whether I understand it, you can understand. Like I said, you can understand something and disagree. That's how I feel. I understand why people may feel that way, But to me, it's lazy logic.
Well,
So.
Ladarius, how about this? Let's get to another bird. The corner over on your side where it says Netflix.
Mhm.
They paid about how much to get Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, a lot of money.
Something.
A lot of money.
Right? With a B. You might think they might look over at Hunter and go, if you're going to give a chance, why don't you give that Jey Uso a chance? Notice who's main evented more Raws on Netflix? Jey Uso. Who's getting time on the mic? Jey Uso. So I get what people are saying with The Rock, but I'm going to say this. I think Jey Uso is one of those rare guys that has shown you that he's worked his way and has given, and people are taking notice. And the thing is this, he's making money for the company. I mean, his merch sales are number one over Cena and Punk. So, normal, like I said, if this was a Vince show, guys, it would either went to Cena, Roman, Punk wouldn't even be in the show. So just remember that. So let's just be happy because I think this is not so bad. Let's talk about another guy because I know a lot of people were, someone said Penta was buried because of Finn Balor. First of all, Penta was in that Rumble match for 42 minutes. Why do I bring that up? His opponent was in the match for 6 seconds. To the point they had a graphic, and me and Ladarius were cracking up at this.
Listen, I don't know who the graphic guy is, but
huh?
That was a Ric Flair like low blow. Like just use come on. Like come on.
And look, it was a good match. I mean, Penta had a very good match, and then give it up. Then they brought in Pete Dunne to kind of distract, and Kaiser beat him up some more. But what did you think of the match, and what do you think about the whole thing with Penta?
Like I said earlier, I don't think Penta is buried. I think he was the Iron. Listen, he lasted a great amount of time in that match. The way they're booking him, they're putting him in the matches that, it maybe seems like contrasting styles. Seeing if he can work with a lot of different guys. I'm curious to see about if we get Penta versus Pete Dunne, which I think we might get maybe potentially on Raw, on the Raw next week.
Mm-hmm.
But if anything, they're building Penta. And listen, whether we like Penta is there for a reason. He fits exactly what Triple H is looking for. A guy that he saw had talent. You bring him over here and you build him up. And like I said earlier, you don't have to win the Rumble to have an impact on the Rumble. And that was Penta. I'm not concerned about, could we get a feud between him and Finn Balor? Yeah, we could get on that path. But it does not change the way I've always felt about Penta's a guy, he's going to be a champion at some point. And because they're building him up that way, and the way Triple H has he's had his pulse on the direction of where he should go. It's part fans and part experience on his end to see how you take a guy. A guy that's buried is out there in squash matches after squash match. We're not getting that with Penta. We're getting quality matches. He's competing with. He competed with Ludwig Kaiser. His first match there, he competed with Chad Gable. These aren't scrubs. So the Penta run is going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
And I, like I said earlier, I don't like when people say he's being buried. Because listen, I heard the same logic like I mentioned earlier. People were saying, "Oh, Seth Rollins is buried." No, you guys don't get it. Who's the one? Seth Rollins is the one guy in the company who could took 3 losses and we don't blink an eye because of the success he's had in his career. Penta has won every single. How is he being buried? like I just want people to like listen. I'm not trying to try to bash John or anything
No.
but
But
I'm just
thing.
curious with the logic
Yeah.
because to me, like everyone has a right to say what they want to say,
Mhm.
but it's just I want to know why people feel that he's getting buried because I don't see it because I heard it with Seth Rollins is getting buried, and people could argue, oh man, they're burying KO after losing 2 straight matches to Cody, but and Craig, listen, look how much Drew McIntyre has lost, and he's still a top.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, losing sets up for things down the road. Ergo, listen, we still got a banger of a match between Cody and Seth. Excuse me, between Cody and KO, despite KO losing 2 times before to Cody. And I don't look any less at KO than I did at Seth Rollins. They're still top guys. Drew McIntyre, when Drew faced Punk and Punk won, Drew was not buried.
Mm-mm.
The thing is, to me, I think people just have a patience problem. And wrestling is the long game. Because I think that's why, with with the storyline with the bloodline, I think people got tired because like they wanted it right there. And it's like you gotta listen, if you're cooking something, like you'd rather put it in the microwave instead of cooking on a stove. Which is listen, if something can go in a microwave and cook, that's great. But if you let it cook and let it simmer a bit, it tastes a little bit better. And there's something rewarding about that. And it's not because of my love of food, but it's a point that I just want people to see is that I understand you want things right then and there, but let it play out. Because listen, like I said, like it's been mentioned, listen, I'm a Seth Rollins guy, and not in one moment did I feel that Triple H was burying Seth Rollins. I said, if anything, he respected Seth enough to go, he can take 3 losses and still be a guy and put on, by the way, 3 quality matches, by the way. So let's be clear about that. Listen, everybody's going to lose. Your favorite wrestlers may lose a couple of matches in a row. They're still over.
Mine's lost
They're still a top guy. They're still a top guy. They're still a top woman in the company. Just like I said earlier, just have more faith in. Now, listen. I'm not saying that they don't bury people, but listen, at some point they will reveal themselves that the burial is happening. But just let it cook. Just let it work. And I think people I just preach patience. Is the best thing I could say.
Yeah. So we got Finn Balor coming saying, I've been gone 2 weeks. Everything's falling apart. Talking about how Dom accused Dom of stealing his spot, and then JD gets injured, and basically he's just throwing Dom under the bus. Liv quickly interrupts him, basically saying, look, Dom has, did it because, Adam Pearce would have taken the tag title match away. And basically said, and also he got you your qualifying match set up. Now, Dom may become the new Dominic Toretto, but, because he said family. But anyway, which was funny. But we'll see where that goes. I don't know if I want to see a Dominic versus Finn at Mania, but we'll see what happens. I'm not gonna rush that one because I'm just like I want to see what's going on. Rick, or not Rick, but Charlotte Flair, bread pudding, came out in the most bubbly yellow color you'll ever see on a jacket, which had it had embroidered Queen on the back. Very humble baby face. And Lord Jesus. Let's put it this way. All the points that Ladarius and everyone has made about Charlotte Flair, Cleveland wants you to know they were not in the mood for it. So we had Rhea come out, basically saying, "Pick me," and Charlotte called her a kid. Not gonna lie, I love Rhea. You really gonna call Rhea Bloody Ripley a kid? I mean, this woman has carried the division since that match that stole the show, mind you, at WrestleMania 39. You're calling her a kid? I know that's probably a kayfabe thing or whatever, but ooh, I didn't like that. I will say I didn't like that. But anyway, what do you think about Charlotte? I mean, the fans let her have it, and look, NXT, she wasn't no better either. I mean, it's one of these you just gotta look and go, do we have to let her talk? Go ahead, brother.
Here's the thing. A part of me felt bad for Charlotte Flair because, like I said, we joke and we kid, but a part of me really felt bad for Charlotte because I think she's trying, and this crowd just has it ingrained to boo her. And whether that's fair or not, to me, I lean on maybe it's not fair. It's just the biggest thing is trying to, and listen, and there's time to do it. It's not like WrestleMania is next month or in 2 weeks or anything. So there's time. I want it to work because listen, as someone who loves women's wrestling, who loves wrestling, I want it to work. And the NXT crowd was much better. They were much more receptive. A part of me just feels that I think it's going to, if it's not great now, it has to be better. And that's kind of looking at it from the optimistic point of view, because whether people didn't believe, listen, Charlotte Flair was going to win because of the spot known that she came out in, but it made more sense. And this is someone who's not the biggest Charlotte Flair fan. I made it clear on this show. I make it clear, if I rank them, people are like, how dare you put Charlotte Flair forward? That's my personal preference. In terms of championships, how all-time great she is, listen, she's in the top 2 for me. Just like I said, just because I may have personal things, I'm not going to ignore somebody's success because it's personal. I recognize what she's done for the women's. I recognize what the 4 horsewomen have done for the women's division over the last decade. So, all right, see you. Thank you for joining us, Carrie. Hopefully we'll see you. We'll see you in the morning.
We'll see you in the morning. Get ready for we're gonna have a good Super Bowl preview, and definitely going to be talking about the Falcons and this wonderful mess that we were in. So everyone's going to get their free speak about it.
Yeah, I'll have 3 words, and then we'll be back. But yeah, but that's my whole thing. It's just I want it to work. I hope T Will shows up. If he shows up, I might be nicer to him. No promises.
Yeah, kind of need to. Especially if T Will feels better,
Listen. I said no promises, so I'm not committed to it one way or the other.
I'm not pushing, brother.
It sounds like you're pushing.
I'm not pushing.
It's a slight shove. I feel it. Like that's like a sting of the chair that Roman Reigns felt. Now the point is, so like I said, I just hope I hope it gets better, because it has to be, because it to me it just has to work, because if it doesn't work, then people will just complain even more. It's just like, it's like in recent memory, like I've seen people complain about one, like this is like, because the women's Royal Rumble been around for 8 years. It was his 8th year. It feels like in recent memory, like this is the one time where people have issues with both winning, with both the men's and the women. Like one, people may complain about the men's and be okay with the women. Some people may complain about the women, be okay with the men. But like this year, it feels like it's polarizing, and it doesn't feel polarizing to me. but especially in the case of Charlotte. So I hope she succeeds. I hope, listen, for the sake of whatever, I hope it gets big, whatever it is. I just hope the crowd has to come around to it. Because like I say, she's been a heel and and there's a story to be told, but hopefully, we get that resolution like at some point. I think I'm gonna be optimistic, like I said, and hopefully we'll figure it out.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna just say, look, the crowd spoke, and sometimes that's all you need to hear. And now we have qualifying matches for the chamber. CM Punk versus Sami Zayn. That was the main event that was announced, and then EO versus Liv. And then, but there's only 3 matches, by the way, on this show. So the tag team match: New Day versus the LWO, Ray and Dragon Lee. New Day has a new theme and new entrance screen. I must admit, it looks really good. I thought it was actually kind of cool. So give them that. They won the match, but what did you think of the New Day and Mysterio?
Listen, boy, I like the theme. I don't know if it was Def Rebel. I don't give them guys any credit, but
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to give those guys any credit. But I like the new theme. It speaks to, like I said, a new theme was bound to happen given the change. And listen, it was a nice little match. I think, listen, I want to get into the ratings thing like Dragon Lee. I'm not gonna get it, but I think it was a good match. I think I'm curious to see what their plans are for them for WrestleMania. That's my plans because
Uh-huh.
I'm super curious because I a part of me, and listen, I could be wrong. This is just like the fan in me. I would love if if Biggie was like healthy, and if he's not, I'm okay with that too. But it's like Biggie, like maybe a mystery tag team partner or whatever. Like I just want to see Biggie because listen, that match would be absolutely bonkers if Biggie showed up at WrestleMania. And but I'm curious to see what their plans are with the New Day because the New Day at WrestleMania, unfortunately, it makes could they do without them? Maybe, but when you have 2 nights of WrestleMania and then they're going to be involved in some capacity. But as for the match itself, it was a good match. I still gotta be convinced on the gear. Like it's just weird not seeing Kofi in some type of wrestling gear. He's wrestling in leather pants. That's I'm getting used to that. But that's just me. But other than that, it was a good match.
Cool. Sorry, I had to sneeze there for a minute. um, I'm gonna say when it comes to the match, I thought the match was okay. Logan Paul being a part of it, you understood because Logan and Ray are gonna have a qualifying match. So big. That'll be interesting next week. I'm pretty confident Logan will win. But I think what's even better is the fact that we're gonna just keep seeing this. I, I'm wondering if we're gonna see the War Raiders versus New Day at WrestleMania, possibly. If we don't have anything with Big E, that's what I'm thinking. But I mean, hey, we'll see. I mean, I'm intrigued by what they're doing, New Day at least. All right. I mean, they're not. It's not like they're blowing out people, but it's just one of those. It's just all right. Well, let's see what they do. Logan Paul. I don't even want to talk about that mess where at the end where Logan like pulls him, throws him, and then that's supposed to beat him. It's like I've never seen anything that dumb. Um, want to get to so about EO. She got attacked, and then she walked to the ring. EO versus Liv. You go. I'll have my thoughts on this. So you go for it. Good thing
listen,
there's only 3 matches, so we're almost there.
yeah, we're almost done. I think we're not talking to AEW, but that saves time. But the
Yeah,
point is,
exactly. They're still there. I mean, if you want to talk about Harley Cameron and her puppet Monet, we can.
yeah,
But
I
I'd
saw
rather
that.
talk about this.
We really don't have to. If you know, I mean, in the chat, if you really want to hear it, I'll say less than 10 words about it. But but anyway, listen, it was a great match. It was a good. The thing is, Io and Liv, I think, listen, they work well together, and it shows.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I personally, I like the finish because here's the thing: we still, if the path goes the way I think it goes, I think Charlotte's gonna go with Tiffany Stratton because I don't think she's gonna go after Julie in NXT. I don't think she's gonna go after Rhea. Correct.
Let's see.
I let you guys read the phone book,
Guys,
but I draw the
phone
yeah,
book
exactly.
before I draw the line at AEW.
Listen,
God, where's that phone book?
I know, like, oh yeah, I thought you had it this week. We'll get
I'm gonna have to find it. I got something. I know I got.
yeah, I got a book with no, but but I like the ending of the match because I think we're getting insight. We could potentially get Rhea versus Io at WrestleMania because you remember in the back, like remember when Io and Rhea were in the back, and then all of a sudden Liv attacked Io, and then Rhea came because it was just after the interaction, and then all of a sudden Raquel comes and knocks poor Rhea over the, and it's like, and then ultimately Rhea unintentionally, what was that? What was that there? Exactly, that's a great. And so, and I see there's some intrigue there, and because Rhea unintentionally cost Io the match by attacking Raquel. And so, and then you kind of saw, like, after Liv was announced as the winner, that there was some tension between Io had toward Rhea, and that's something to look out for, because like I said, people are up in arms about Charlotte winning, but yet we could still get Io versus Rhea. Like, this is what I say. Just I'm folks. I know, like, listen, Io was someone to be on the lookout for, but Io versus Rhea looks pretty good to me. So that's a main event quality match. But the point is that, once again, listen, I think Io's still gonna fall. I think you brought up a good point. I think Io's still gonna find her way in there, possibly. Because listen, we're gonna get there because, like, the Elimination Chamber. Like I say, people stop sleeping on the Elimination Chamber. Like, there's a reason why the Elimination Chamber is sandwiched in between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania for a reason.
Yeah,
and I believe it's been that way for years. There's a reason for that, because like, oh, how the road to WrestleMania, like, how, oh, if they don't win the Rumble, like, there's like, oh, maybe they could win the Elimination Chamber. Like, I believe we're gonna get, like I said, I'm more intrigued at how this women's field's gonna develop, but it was a great match. Listen, I love the ending because we could end up, because all signs could potentially point to Io versus Rhea, which, once again, like, I'll say it again, would not be the worst thing in the world.
And I'm going to say it like this. There is such a thing as too predictable. So there are 6 slots for the chamber for the women. In the men's, it's different because John Cena's already taken one. So, you can still be creative, but yet you want to make sure that each match matters. But then you want to do that second chance match. So I think Io's getting in this thing, regardless. I'm looking forward to it. I think Liv being in the chamber is awesome because her year she's had, she should be in this. So that's just my view on it. Um, By the way, they talked about JD McDonough's injuries. The Warriors, gave mad respect to him. But let's get to the real good part here. Well, one, Adam Pearce announced that Kathy Kelly's TikTok buddy, Uncle Allen, aka AJ Styles, he is gonna be Monday Night Raw's property, and then Braun Breaker.
Oh,
And I'm gonna tell you, WWE, I am okay with Braun Breaker versus Sheamus for the Intercontinental title. But if you're going to throw Uncle Allen in this, I can forgive you. You are forgiven because Uncle Allen can do no wrong. So just letting that be known. All right, because that pure Southern country sound of Uncle Allen is just heaven's gates. I tell you what, I cannot. Him and Kathy, that was awesome too, by the way. All right, let's talk about the Undertaker. No, the Macho Man. No, Seth freaking Rollins in black. Man had sunglasses that made Shawn Michaels look like he's actually could see straight. All right. You know what? I'm going to the Seth Rollins guy. Take it away, brother.
Please, you put me on the spot like that. Jesus
Well,
Christ.
I mean, look, he gives us a great promo,
Look,
and then he gives us a great promo because promo was good, but then he goes and gives a rah-rah speech that almost makes Dax jealous. I heard.
that speech is better than mine. I don't like it. But,
I want to wrestle for WWE.
look, listen, Seth can't do any wrong in the fashion department. Listen, he looked like my other all-time favorite wrestler, and he looked like, listen, you got some bits and pieces. So, how he looked. So,
He even had the chain and the turtleneck sweater.
listen, and the shades was the chef's kiss, and so listen, Seth on the mic is always fantastic, and I kind of like and then Sammy comes out, and listen, it's absolutely fantastic, and listen, all I'm going to say is this. Listen, Seth is a snappy dresser, and he's great on the mic. Back to you.
The rah-rah speech could get some work because we find out later.
Listen, it was
anyway.
either that. Listen, do you want Dax another? Yeah, listen.
Well, no. I will take Seth's rah-rah speech over Dak's rah-rah speech. I would take a lot of people's rah-rah speeches over Dax. To be fair. All right. Let's talk about this match, man. Sami Zayn, CM Punk. I'm gonna tell you, and I get what Punk's doing. I love it because he's telling stories in the ring. These matches, when he's wrestling, he's giving you a gift. I mean, look, you can. Everyone has a view of CM Punk, and I can't say it's wrong. All right, you can hate him. You could say he's a hypocrite. You could say, he's your favorite. But no matter what, this man's a wrestler, and he's really good. Him and Sammy tore the house down. They really did. I thought this match was really good. The close finishes they had, the intense matchup, and it ends in a GTS, a 1-2-3, and then Punk is, he's officially in the chamber with John Cena, but he, as a sign of respect, he shook Sami Zayn's hand, and as he turns his back, which you never do, KO attacks him, kung fu treachery, and I got to go here. Thank you, KO. You keep kayfabe alive. Because, man, you look like you got beaten up and in a bar fight. Man was hobbling. Man looked like he got beat up badly. And he did. But the thing is, homeboy is still dishing out justice. But nah, for real. Does the package power driver. Lights go show cuts off. if you watch online, you see that Punk actually comes in and they are attending to Sammy. So the reason I had to rephrase this because I said they never wrestled at a WrestleMania, and I forgot they did. It was WrestleMania 37. Logan Paul was the referee. What I meant to say is this is going to be a first time that these guys will ever feud under Triple H. And that's a whole lot different from the other stuff. This is going to be closer. You know how you said Ring of Honor made you feel like those moments? We're going to get it. We're getting Sting and El Generico. I even made a joke about it because I was like, man, El Generico. It's like, man, I bet you he's having flashbacks. I bet you he's thinking about El Generico or something. I don't know. Or maybe he found out that Sammy had a mask of El Generico. I hope not, man, because he hated that guy. He loves Sammy, but he hates that guy. And but no, man, I look forward to it. And like you said, man, give the chamber. It's like this. People, I think Hunter actually realized I got to make not just the Rumble special. I need to make the chamber special. You notice how he's making all these matches and all these things special. So that's the Rumble's gonna or the Chamber's gonna tell more stories and tell you who's gonna face who. So what say you? What do you think? I wanted to give you a little break, and I think I did. So go for it, Ladarius.
The thing is that first of all, the match was great. I love the ending.
Yeah.
Listen, Punk going. Listen, what the real story is what happened is what happened after the match ended.
Exactly.
That's the story. And like Berto said, listen, it's about time. Like, it's amazing. Like, they did face off at a WrestleMania before.
Yeah.
So I know someone says the first time. No, they faced off one time before.
Yeah.
But this time under Triple H, the way it's long overdue to have these guys go one-on-one. Given the history, the Ring of Honor history, given their history in WWE, it makes too much sense because we were led up to this point. Because listen, when Sammy came out, after then when KO came out and did what he did, he said, "I want somebody else to feel that Alabama slam," so he gave it to Sami Zayn. and I said, this is great storytelling because Sammy's been the one guy. He's tried to be neutral, and in some cases, but KO did not forget that he partnered with Roman Reigns, who was the constant nemesis of Kevin Owens.
Yep.
KO reminds me a lot of King Petty. You don't forget.
Yeah.
You don't forget.
No, he don't.
You can have other feuds, and KO's done a lot of different stuff, but he never forgot. He never forgot what Sammy did. And he even wanted Sammy to be out there with this match with Cody, which he was.
Yeah.
But not in the way that KO thought he was going to be out there. And I think that just pushed KO over the limit because he was already pissed about the whole, Roman thing, and then, him, being friends with Cody, him hanging out with Cody. Like, we were all going to get this moment, and it was perfectly done. After the match, you didn't see it coming. That's what makes it even more amazing. You're thinking, man, KO is just resting after he got, after what happened to him with the Alabama on the ladder and like his eye, you're like, this man's not going to show up 2 days later on television. And that's exactly what he does. And
he kind of looked like Peter Griffin after he fought the chicken.
Yeah, all that was missing was like just a white shirt and some green pants. Like it would have been like perfect, and green trunks. It's like that's what it felt like. Like KO got the bejesus beat out of him, and he still came out there, did the Alabama Slam to Sammy, and we're gonna get KO versus Sammy at WrestleMania, and it's gonna be great because it was pretty good the first time with Triple H. Like I said, it's the build. It was bound at some point KO was going to confront Sammy in some capacity, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
And like I say, the match itself was great. CM Punk, I loved what I really loved about that match is it's kind of like the first time how Sammy countered the first GTS. That was cool. And how we saw, and then the final GTS, like when he actually hit, it made it that much better. And like I say, Hunter has been booking these matches in a way, and whoever's booking and whoever is in charge of these matches, it's absolutely amazing. Like we talked about the tag team match at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Like it's a little nuanced stuff that makes the big picture. And I think in that match, I just like the counter that Sammy had to the GTS the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and then I was like, oh, eventually he's gonna hit it. And when Punk hit it, you're like, yeah, that felt right. And then the KO moment you just didn't see coming, which was equally enjoyable. So listen, Raw on Netflix has absolutely been getting it done. And like I said, it's a nice, comfortable 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And you can get a lot of stuff done. It just goes to show you that when you book it properly, you can get a lot of boxes checked if you do it the right way. And like I say, so far so good for Raw on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Back to you in the studio.
You know, when you look at what they are doing, they're giving you what fans want. They're making them talk. They're getting these guys to get you hooked in these matches. Where before Raw felt like empty calories. Like whatever happened doesn't really matter at the end. I got to say, it makes me happy to watch matches like CM Punk and Sami Zayn. Makes me happy to watch the ending. And it's like they do so many different things that you're going, well, do I need to leave yet? Got to make sure it's actually over. Me and you even said that together, when we were watching. So it's good. And I just, it's like this. I know trust me, if we want to be critical, we could be very hypercritical.
Yeah.
There's no need right now. Just watch the show, see what's going on, and give your opinion. But right now, I'm not mad or I'm not losing my crap over anybody right now. Because why? I'm giving them till the chamber. I'm saying, you've got me invested. Jay winning the Rumble, I'm invested. I already know Cena's going to be in this thing. I know that Rey Mysterio and Logan Paul are going to have a match. They've had a feud before. Let's see what happens. Let's see. I'm thinking Logan's going to win. But if they wanted to stun us, would you be surprised if Rey won? I mean, he is one of the greatest luchadors.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yes, storyline wise, it probably would because of the fact that, they probably would like to push Logan more than Rey, but it's not like you would be like heartbroken. So, and like also the other thing I was going to bring up is SmackDown going to have some qualifying matches because you kind of think they need to because so far this is lining up like an all Raw show.
Yeah.
So that's my only question. And then the other thing I want to bring up, they brought up that Roman Reigns was out with injuries, but they didn't say because Roman wasn't allowing it. So it's kayfabe. But so what's going to happen with Roman? Is he going to be in the chamber, or is he going to do like what Shawn Michaels did that one year, open a crate and spear the hell out of Seth and Punk? It can happen, and to me, that's what I look at. I look at what are my possibilities, and the other question: are we going to see Randy Orton? When are we going to see Randy? Because you still have that, and I know one guy, podcaster, he's saying that he thinks Sammy and KO are going to happen at Elimination Chamber. I think this match has to happen at Mania. My personal feeling. I would like to see Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, WrestleMania with Hunter behind it, not Vince. Because if you remember, it was Sami Zayn, the conspiracy guy, and blue collar KO. So we switch up the roles, and not only that, we're using the past. We're talking about the back in the day when guys were wrestling in TNA and Lucha Underground. I know they won't be able to say Ring of Honor because of the other idiots, but they got to at least bring up their indie days.
Yeah.
You know, so I just think this match was good. CM Punk, Sami Zayn. I didn't realize that was their first match ever.
Yeah, that was a bit shocking. I'm like,
Yeah,
but in a way it makes sense
yeah,
because I don't think because CM Punk's first run, I definitely knew they didn't face off. I
yeah,
think because they were two different points at the company at the time. So
yeah. It's like you were trying to do the math because you were going, okay, well, the Shield was there, so how close was Sami Zayn from debuting to the main roster? It didn't happen till Punk was gone.
yeah,
So yeah, and that's why I was like, oh, they're right. So
yeah,
it was good. Look, that match was really good, and I like that Sammy Punk started this off, and you look. I think there's so many stories that haven't been tapped in. That's why I want to tell people, just wait. Let's see. After Chamber, if things ain't happening, then you can say something. But
yeah.
let's just see what happens. Let's build to Chamber, get into Chamber, and then we can go from there. That's just my opinion. What do you think?
No, listen, to save time, listen, I agree. It's one of the situations, like I said earlier, it'd be super quick and right to the point. Let it play out. Let it before we start passing judgment. It's like this. It's like if you don't like a certain food, like unless you're allergic to it, then don't eat it. But if it's a food, you can't say you don't like something if you haven't tried it. So, so it's one of those things where if you got to see where it's going in order to make a judgment call, just let it go, let it see where it flows, and then if you're still not satisfied, then okay, great. It's not the end of the world. So that's how I feel about it. It's just like let it flow. Just let it simmer, let it cook. If you don't like it, cool. But don't knock it until you've seen it prepared and seen it go out and see where it goes.
Well said. Let's go ahead and do our plugs, or plug what you're part of and how people can find you. And also, folks, don't forget subscribe to Darius' channel as well as to my channel. And also, please leave a like and also a comment if you watch after watching this live. Hope you enjoyed the review. Ladarius, go ahead and tell good people where to find you.
You can find me on Twitter and TikTok at Ladarius_Brown, Instagram Ladarius_Brown, writer editor for Beyond Women's Sports. I'll have an the Super Bowl preview, the final NFL. I'll have a preview for the Super Bowl out like this weekend. I'll have an article about Athletes Unlimited basketball kicked up tonight. I'll have something on that in the very very near future. And thank you, like I said, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to C-Dub, shout out to Berto, shout out to the amazing chat for being here and letting us talk wrestling and enjoying the things along the way. So like once again, thank you, chat, thank you, C-Dub, and thank you to all of you who tuned in.
Awesome. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Ladarius for being the star of this show with me because I do enjoy your company. You're a good guy. You always help me out through some hard stuff, so I do appreciate you. I know I'm not the easiest to get along with. I'm so controversial and all, but I want to thank you for sure. Man, a year that we got together and watching that 5 a.m. show. That was fun, actually.
Yeah. It doesn't matter who showed up when. We were all there together.
Exactly. We were all there. I had my I had my soda, then I had my coffee later. That will be the most one thing I'll never forget I did. I'm like going, this is the first time I've ever watched a wrestling show where I started off drinking a soda and then I ended it drinking coffee. And I'm going, man, this is odd. But man, it was weird. But yeah, so we're gonna be definitely talking me, Ladarius, and hopefully Berto. We're gonna try to get together definitely for WrestleMania, we're gonna have to do some stuff. I promise you guys we'll put more content. Um, look, it's the road to WrestleMania. If we can get people that want to talk WrestleMania, we'll try to line up some guests. We'll try to do some shows to kind of offset our football that we won't be doing as much. But we'll be also talking NBA too because trade deadline, and then they got to get through their stuff. So I think me and Ladarius might have to team up on that for some fun takes. So I'm looking forward to it. Trying to think. Tomorrow, 10:15 in the morning, we will be having our Super Bowl show where we're just are you okay with 10:15 or should we do 10:30?
Yeah, you already put it out there. I'd look silly if I didn't show up.
No, well, no. I mean, I can move it to 10:30. That's what I'm saying.
No, I mean, listen. You're running the show. Remember, listen. You said it was your show.
Well, no. Look. I said it was our show, but anyway.
No, you said, and then Berto heard it too. We all heard it.
First of all, this is our show. I communicate with you with a lot of stuff. But anyway, you know what?
always.
I need to add you under this account, and I'll let you just be able to write up the show. How about that?
No, it took all of that to get that. Anyway.
Well, I'm just saying, I just figured out how to do it, so I mean, now I could just actually look at you and go, I mean, I can do that.
All right. And shout out to Craig. Always great to listen to you, fellas.
Craig.
Thank you so much, Craig.
Oh, yeah. And then let's see, we had Carrie, we had John. Look, we love you, John. Don't be afraid. Chris, A1, Forever Sports. Man, we had a lot of comments.
Yeah, a lot of shout out. Yeah.
Yeah.
A1 went Demetrius.
Yeah.
Carrie. John.
So I still think more Craig, and then we even had
Devin showed up, and yeah.
So yeah, guys, look, thank you all so much. And also Devin, thank you so much.
And then Ron showing up, April, Ron.
Yep, Ron and John. So I'll tell you, I can't wait to tell Ron tomorrow about that damn scene, just so I can tell him, look, we have an issue with you, man. You can't be writing for WWE. So, I mean, that's what I just gotta say. So, let's see what else. So I told him about the show, 10:15. Check it out. We're going to be talking to Super Bowl. Ladarius going to probably give us some of that Super Bowl preview. We're going to get some of that info, and then not just that, we're going to go deep in on the Kirk Cousins drama. Kirk gonna Kirk, and Falcons gonna Falcons, and we'll discuss why we don't need a press conference. And because I was seeing a lot of comments saying we need a press conference, and I'm going, no, just no, please. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. So guys, check us out there. Also, if you want to watch us tomorrow, next week, we will be doing another wrestling review show, and we will talk. We might do a preview tomorrow's our preview for the Super Bowl, but we might do something after the week, or maybe later in the week, next week, to talk football or Super Bowl, our thoughts and all that good stuff. So, well, for Ladarius, I'm C-Dub. I believe we're out. Hope you all enjoy. God bless and have fun. Peace.